just watch the way Green Bay is getting started here. They're really crisp. There it is. You know, like they do in wrestling. Boom! There it is. Boom! Right there. That's a wham block. There it is. Show me the money!
Good morning, everybody. Time to wake and rake and win together. Get the coffee going. My name is Eric. I'm your host. Producer Chris is over here making it all happen. Big announcement coming this morning, so stick around if you like money, because this news involves you having more of it. We are just 7 days away from not only the Super Bowl of professional football, but the Super Bowl of amateur gambling. It's okay to be a beginner so long as you have the right advice, and in a fortuitous turn of events, I have just the advisors we need right here. We've got Ariel Callista, who I'm convinced has a crystal ball just off camera because this goes on a perpetual heater. Ari, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks. How are you doing?
Outstanding. Back in studio, feeling great. And then we have Cricket, the sports betting savant. There's no game this man can't talk about on an intelligent level. And as a bonus, you won't meet a nicer guy. Cricket, how are you this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My Vols got the big win at Kentucky last night. I was looking at some stats on that thing, man. The first SEC team to score 100 on Kentucky at Kentucky since 1992. There's been John Calipari's had 254 games at Kentucky. 3 times his team never held a lead. Last night was one of those. My Vols put it on them boys last night, man. It was a good night.
Wow.
That was like the Tony Delt. I was in middle school for 1992.
Right, damn. Man. It's been a minute, man. I was every bit of like 5 years old.
Now, about that news, we're going to elaborate a little later. But Ari, do you want to give the people a little idea what we're going to be up to after the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. We are rebranding. This new podcast is going to be called Smoke the Spread. And our new brand network name, Chris, do you want to?
That damn sports network.
I like it.
I like it.
Yep. We will be, Ari's going to be rebranding as soon as whenever. I'm not sure when, maybe today, maybe tomorrow on the Rumble side. So it may look a little different. The channel will be the same. New show will be, I wrote it down here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 4 p.m., Sundays at 8 a.m. Same. The branding will look a lot different. The show is going to look a little bit different, but you're still going to get the 4 of us and all of our fun friends, our family, Elio, AK, all the boys will be in and out.
Yeah, Will and Steps.
Everybody.
Yeah. We'll have a party in this thing, man.
Plus, we're opening up to even more sports beyond football. So watch out and stay tuned for that.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, Ari crushes multiple sports. So it would make absolutely no sense to stop when football stops.
Yeah, turns out they let you bet on more things than football.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I don't care if you know who's going to win the Puppy Bowl. Tell me. I'm not.
If you do.
I'm not a sports.
I swear I was so mad that I couldn't put that bet in on Steps Royal Rumble picks for WWE last week. DraftKings was like, no, we're not letting you do this, Cricket. But it was a winner, man. He had a plus 400 winner in there, and I was upset that they didn't let me get that. I'll bet on anything. Everybody's money's green.
Morning, Chuck. Yeah, if my father taught me one thing, it's punctuality.
Let me tell you, we suck at punctuality. Okay, I've tightened the ship up a little bit, Chuck.
Oh, it can be both.
It can be both. We tightened the ships up a little bit. We all got dressed. We're in formation. 7:15 this morning. Ready, rock and roll.
Yep, right.
Morning, Super James.
Vertical.
That's right.
You don't have to ask me twice.
Ari, with that bond. Heavy, you want to get in here and talk some sports? I can get.
She does take requests.
Super James in there. I seen him say handball, man. My man been hooked on betting handball lately, man.
Is that real? Do we really bet that? I'm okay with it. I just need to know.
Yeah, I just need to
again. I don't care the sport. If you got winners, give them to me.
Did you know you get 3 points for a dunk in Korean basketball?
What?
What?
It must be. Is it really hard to dunk it?
I don't know. My buddy told me this yesterday. He was like, I had a team. He was like up by 1. He had a team -3. It was right at the end of the game, and the dude stole the ball and dunked it. And all of a sudden, they gave him 3 points for it, and he won 80. It was like 82-81, and he dunked it, and he won 85-81 and covered the spread and everything. And I was like,
I'll take it.
Wow.
Can you imagine what the scores would be in the NBA if they gave you 3 points for a dunk?
Jesus Christ, dude!
It'd be like 205 to 203 or something.
Heavy's gonna smoke a blunt and hop on. That's
interesting.
I love
That'll be
it.
good stuff.
Yeah.
This morning I'm smoking. I got a little high. I'm smoking some fresh weeds. Picked this
Nice.
morning, fresh off the plant. I'm growing it myself, and there's just nothing like it. Smoking it fresh off the plant, growing it yourself. It's so powerful, hallucinogenic. So yeah, we'll be talking a little bit more about some cannabis today.
We
And
love that.
self-sustainable. Yeah.
Hey, I asked the same thing as Chuck did when you said 3 points. I was like,
I think it may be. It's probably more along the line of the fact that nobody's probably above 6 feet in that league.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
if we're being honest. So it might as well be 16 feet high.
Sounds like a slam ball situation. We got to talk The Rock versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40. Says Heavy. I've been unplugged from the wrestling world. I'm happy to see Roman Reigns is still out there tearing it up.
I heard Heavy was gonna slam that. He was getting some really good plus money on the Roman Reigns side of that. He's got some inside script.
Bro,
I
haven't
like
watched
that.
wrestling.
They play on their knees. That's exactly right.
I haven't watched wrestling in 25 years at least. I watched every minute of that damn Royal Rumble, and I was highly entertained. I can't
Wrestling is back.
I'm just saying, I was highly entertained. I know that it's choreographed or whatever. We won't use the F word and call it fake, but it is choreographed. But you can't tell me that some of those shots don't hurt.
Oh,
you
bro.
just can't tell me
they
don't.
put it on the line, man. They put
It's
it on
crazy,
the line.
man. For the first time in 20 plus years, I'm considering watching WrestleMania.
Yeah. If a guy walks up to me and clotheslines me to the ground, or if a guy walks up and tells me I'm about to clothesline you to the ground, it hurts the exact same both times.
And it's like the ground hurts him worse than the guy. You see how hard they hit the ground? I watched him throw one of them dudes out in the Royal Rumble. He grabbed him by his foot and just flipped him over the thing, and dude just smacked on that like inch thick pad on top of that concrete. You can't tell me that doesn't feel. You don't feel that the next morning.
Cirque du Soleil. Morning, Craig. All my friends
Good
made it in.
morning.
Sunny here today. It's a little foggy. It's a lot foggy in the Dairyland this morning.
Okay.
If Netflix gets in, yeah. Now, we got one football game, 1,000 ways to get down on it. Ari, I've looked through your props, and I like what I'm seeing. The props, by the way, are in the free email. This is a list of winners that is not behind a paywall. It's free to anybody with an email address. I think this is win or lose. This is Travis Kelce's last football game. So I think the Kelce anytime touchdown makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Really?
I think that makes a lot of sense, but I did add some new props just because my AI is saying that She Rice isn't going to have a day.
Rasheed Rice.
Yeah.
Is not.
Yeah. It's not going to be his day. I like under wow.
I feel like the public
under 66.5 receiving yards at -115 and under 6.5 receptions at -115.
7 receptions is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And I
got
think
a
these
lot.
are some new good props. You'll see them also in my email coming out today. Because it's a free email. So I've been updating as I'm looking through more and more props. I'm also updating the email with them. So you'll never miss out. It's absolutely free. Always free. Just add your email to the stay in touch box at arielcalista.com. I don't know if you could show my little thing here.
Probably. Yeah. And like I said yesterday, we crushed NBA and some college basketball on Friday night. I took my daughter to Starbucks basically on your advice. You basically paid for Starbucks, so she appreciates that. We got cake pops. I mean, when the Creighton Butler over hits, you got to get cake pops.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that was a good call on Miami yesterday in college ball.
Yeah. In fact, I didn't realize that. I'm glad I put it in when you said it because I didn't realize it was an early game. I went and ran Reagan to get her nails did or done, whatever they say. And when I got back, a little fucking the casino fairy made a stop on my pillow and threw a little.
Don't you love that when you log in and there's crooked numbers in there and you're like, hey, that's more than I had before.
Well, I was watching that when we were in a little trouble early on in the second half in that thing there. We were down by 8 or 9, and I was just sitting at Buku's and I was looking over talking to him. And I looked back up, we were up by a point, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris and I were talking about that yesterday. Like, if Ari gives you a -4 and that team's down 20, maybe think about
I did that
money line.
I did that. I went with Texas A&M when they were down.
Yep.
We'd been on Texas A&M, and I saw him. I was like sitting there. Me and Buku were talking about that too, and I text Chris, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Nah, they were only down by like 3 at the time, right before the half or something." I was like, "No, we need to wait a little bit." Well, then I saw him get down by 10 or whatever it was, and I was like, "Oh, here's our spot, bro. Let's go." Then went ahead and hopped in there and cashed that ticket too.
So this wasn't one of Ari's winners, but if you read her email, it was in there. It was a live play if you wanted it. She didn't pick it, and sometimes that happens with me. I'll read her email, get my bets in, and she'll put out 3. I'll have 2 of the 3 already in because I didn't realize she was going to do the other one. But she's got 10 bets, and I've already bet all 10. So she did that with Milwaukee last night. So Milwaukee went down like 20 in the second quarter.
They were down 25.
I smashed that money line at like plus 450, and they came all the way back and just absolutely destroyed them.
They came back and covered the spread.
Yeah, all the way.
I had a minus.
I had them at plus. I had them at plus 13.5 in the first quarter, and then I took them on the money line. I was like, they're just having a slow start on the road here. That's not what this team looks like.
Some people just live right. But y'all definitely need to look at that because Ari has been on fire. She don't ever miss them by much. So if you got one of her picks and it's in game and it's down by 10 points, double digits or something, you better look to hop on that in game line. At least take the points, but I recommend go ahead and jumping on that money line because you're gonna get a lot of plus 20, and I ain't seen her miss bad yet.
Nope.
Thank you. Last night was a little bit of a mixed bag, but it has been pretty smooth sailing this whole week.
But it was only a mixed bag, Ari, if you weren't watching the games and in live betting them because we still had a profitable night.
Yeah.
And I wound up in-game betting games and winning bets in games that I would have not even looked at had you not told me.
Or I found bets in your email that we didn't even talk about.
Yeah. Anytime I see a level 3, 4, or 5 pro money, that's an auto bet.
Oh yeah.
Or a level
absolutely.
1. Because a level 1 money is still a lot of money, or it wouldn't even track. But so smoke the spreads will be a little bit more than that. We'll break down a lot more bets than just the 3. Ari always comes up with 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 that are her favorites, like her personal bets. But there's more bets in there for the DGen Army, baby.
Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of plays in there, and really I encourage everyone to use it more like a tool set because that's really what it is. It's showing you how the lines are moving. It's showing you how the money is moving, and a lot of things fall apart during the day. That's just a fact. So you kind of have to use it as a tool to stay on top of it yourself. And I love that you guys have also been able to use it as a tool set and track how the money is flowing throughout the day. And then ultimately decide, in game time, is this still a play or, do I want to stay away from this?
What's more likely? This team's going to lose or Ari was right?
Ari was right.
Absolutely.
Just bet it. It looks awful, but just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like in the tournament, we're going to have a lot of opportunities like that. Buku is here. Millie Goats are here. Big Red One. That's
What's
a hell of
up?
a handle. Big Red One, come on.
Are you talking about the Justin Bieber at the All-Star game?
What about that jacket he was wearing? That big fuzzy, it looked like something off Dr. Seuss. It was pretty ridiculous. I see that. I was like, that totally looks like a Bieber thing to do right there.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like the shirts were kind of designed by kids. It felt like the local elementary school design.
Yeah, it definitely looked like something you would wear at like a sleepover or something for children.
Yeah, like pajamas. It looked like pajamas. Yeah. They weren't really stylish.
I'll give it this. It did look warm. It looked very warm inside that hockey arena right there. So yeah, he definitely looked like he was cozy, but I don't know. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that jacket. I felt like he could have done better being Bieber and all the money Bieber's got. I felt like he could have been a little more stylish in that thing.
Absolutely. And I feel like with all the money that he's got, like I don't know, maybe hire a better design team to come up with the shirts. Like he's talented at singing and composing music, and he really does have a lot of talents, but I just don't think designing shirts is really, sometimes you can't do everything.
Exactly. If that jacket yesterday was any indication of his fashion style, I think you're right. He needs to hire some other people.
Yeah.
Boys and girls were on major cicada watch for the spring, a super cicada event. Is it been the right amount of years? Every 17 years, like Jeepers Creepers, they come out.
I feel like Vegas every season's cicada season.
Yeah. We always got a bunch of those down here in Tennessee, man.
See what they did to the Strat last night? They made it look like a lava lamp. That was pretty cool.
No, I didn't
They're
see
always
that.
innovating out there. Maybe that's to keep up with the big bubble.
Oh man, I didn't see that, man.
Ari,
That sphere is pretty cool, though.
can you add in your emails step by step of how to grow your own weed? Well, that's state by state, I suppose.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah. It probably depends on your climate too, Steps. You're probably in a pretty good spot though. See, around here, I couldn't do that, man. If I tried to grow it outside, the deer around my house, deer love eating marijuana, dude. If you try to,
So do I get it.
So do I. But yeah, man. So around here, if you're trying to grow outdoor, it's not going to make it, man. It's just not going to make it. The animals will eat that shit.
Yep. You find a guy who shaves his head on a regular basis, and you sprinkle hair out there all around it, and that keeps some of them away. But the bold ones, the real connoisseurs, are going to walk right through that.
That's right. That's right.
I wish my Q's basketball did better at Wake Forest. That was tough. I didn't see that game, the Wake Forest Syracuse game.
How do you feel about Syracuse this year, man? I feel like y'all been kind of up and down. My balls, we played y'all early on in that one of I think the Maui. I think we played y'all, but first year without Boeheim, right?
I believe so. Yeah. No Boeheim kids. New day.
It's the first time there's not been a Boeheim up there in Syracuse Orange in hell, feels like half a century. In my lifetime, at least.
Deer will leave it alone after it gets about 18 inches. The terps, right? Are the terpenes?
Yeah. Cannabis really has some terpenes that just keep all like pests away. I mean, it's really good at like deterring bugs and pests and things like that. And
nature.
I mean, it just has great terpenes too. It's like even if you look back, like the earliest text, like the Bible, is talking about the aroma of cannabis, and the aroma comes from terpenes. Like those are the compounds in nature that produce scent.
That's what makes it smell like Fruit Loops. Terpenes.
Fruity Pebbles, baby.
I'm gonna learn so much on this show.
Maybe that's my problem. Maybe mine never got over 18 inches tall. I'd hide them out in the woods when I was deer hunting and try to come back and check them.
Yeah.
And I probably should have been just deer hunting over my weed plants because that seems to be where they were.
I don't think my problem was the deer. I think my problem was the folks I brought out there with me.
That could be it too.
I suspect. Don't grow it next to cantaloupe, says Patriot 416.5. Good advice. I like a good cantaloupe. I assume a deer would too.
Ooh, I love some cantaloupe now.
Grow inside to 18 inches, says Chuck. That's brilliant. Then put them out there. Then you're bulletproof.
Man, Chuck just comes in spitting knowledge, man.
Well,
Ari, Craig said thanks for the kind message this week. He's had a little hey man, that's the good stuff right there. That's the good stuff. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the important ones.
And I'm so glad you've reached out and joined my email, and now like we can talk back and forth, because it is like me behind the emails. I wake up every day, I do all the lines, I track it throughout the week, and I love when you guys write me and ask me questions and want to learn, and are active participants in this process so we could all win and succeed together.
Absolutely.
Community. That's what it's all about. Let's build our little gambling commune here and just share winners.
That sounds a little bit like heaven.
Normally I get depressed this time of year because football season is ending and all I can think about is how there's not going to be any more football. But now I'm just excited about college basketball, hockey, cricket, handball. I don't know.
All that. Man, you can bet on highlight on DraftKings if you want.
Whatever these books are foolish enough to let us get down on, we will be crushing.
Right.
What are you tracking today, Ari? What's on your radar? What's got your little feelers going wild today?
Well, there aren't too many games that I'm tracking right now. I'm tracking one game in college basketball, the Davidson versus Loyola. The total it moved from 134.5 to 136.5 with level 1 money on the over. So it seems like that's a pretty, big move for a little bit of significant money. So it looks like Vegas is agreeing with that. I'm still waiting to see if it's like pro money. But this is one initial game that I'm tracking. In the NBA, there's only 2 games that I'm tracking today: the Suns versus the Bulls. So this is one you really want to watch, because the Suns spread. The look-ahead line was at -7, but the initial opening was at -8. And since then, it's moved out to -11 on level 2 pro money. So this is where the pros, the sharps, are playing. This is something you really want to watch.
So we're talking Suns versus the Wizards today?
-11 right now.
Suns versus the Bulls, yeah.
It's the Wizards today.
It's the Wizards today. Washington Wizards.
Yeah, it's the line is -11 Suns right now at the Wizards.
Oh,
But
okay. I don't know why I wrote that wrong. Okay.
A lot of games up there. A lot of stuff you got to put in. It's easy to mix this stuff up sometimes. Let it all run together.
This is why the email and the TikTok are appointment television, because these lines move and they never move the other way. They always move the direction Ari says they're going to move.
That's right.
Yeah. So if
honestly,
she's like,
I make the emails fresh every morning, you know, like I redo it. I do all the work in the morning. And as you guys already know, I've been smoking some fresh weed. So
hey, you're good.
Sometimes things get a little wonky.
That's all right. That's all good. We have a wonky time around here. It's all good.
That's why it's, well, going to be called Smoke the Spread.
Right. Exactly.
I love it. Right.
Yeah, that -11 while we were sitting here just moved from -105 to -115.
Oh yeah.
-112.
Pro?
They're listening.
This is something to really, I'd say, put your bet in now, honestly.
Okay.
This is a good game. Pro money. Also, what's interesting in this game is the total. Level 5 money is on the under right now. It opened at 244. It's now sitting at 237.5. With the level 5 money on the under, I'm not sure. This is mixed money, so I'm just kind of waiting and seeing if this is pro money or a lot of square money. But just considering the line movement of Vegas and how they moved it from their opening, and they've already started pushing a line under, this is something to track, especially with a significant on my grading scale, level 5. This is the most significant amount of money, so something to track and pay attention to.
So we like the Suns in this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we like the under on the Davidson game so far.
And I'd say watch the under in this game too. Absolutely. And then the Pacers versus Hornets game. So it opened Indiana -8. The look-ahead line was initially set at -6.5, but the official opening line was at -8. It's since moved out to -9.5 on level 3. So, you know, pretty significant pro money.
Okay.
Yep.
So we like the Pacers there on the road at the Hornets.
And there's really been no money on the total in this game.
I got a 10 on the offshores. I need to expand my horizons, get on multiple books so I can shop a little better.
They got
to get y'all some legal sports betting, man. That way you can get on all the big books. I still don't know what we're doing here. Not make this stuff legal everywhere.
Yeah,
but
dumb.
It's coming. It's going to happen. Let's just be real.
It's
going to happen. We just got to get to that point.
Yeah. And even right now, being in like the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York area, there's so much money being gambled in sports. It's greater than Vegas. So, I mean, it's really growing. It's becoming a hugely profitable thing for all of these states. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I think the state governments are going to realize like there's just too much money in this for them to pass this by.
It's like I say to my governor on Twitter all the time. Do you want to be the last one? Do you want to be the last state to cash in on this? What are you waiting for?
The last person to come to this party? Nobody likes them.
Exactly. Greg says, I heard Pebble Beach might be rough weather. Good to see young European players golf. I suppose those Euros golf in much more adverse conditions than the Americans.
I've heard that it's going to be real nasty weather out there today. I'd heard some point in time yesterday there was a lot of rain, and at one point in time it said up to like 50 to 60 miles an hour winds. I don't know how true that was. I mean, that seems like you can't play golf in something like that, right?
I mean, you can try.
Windy.
You can try. That sounds crazy, man. So you're going to see, I don't think you're going to see those 60s like Wyndham Clark shot yesterday for the course record, out there at Pebble Beach. He had like 189 feet worth of putts or something like that. Shot a 60, man. He's leading the tournament at minus 17. All-time record in the Pro-Am out there at Pebble Beach. So I don't think you're going to see any of that today with that kind of weather.
Ty Lue's here. It's a good day when there's sharp money on the Pacers.
That's right.
I mean, I think I've seen that on a bumper sticker once.
If not, we're about to make it.
That's because we need to nickname him Tyler Homer.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
Great point, Big Red One. We can use the tax revenue. They got to have betting and cannabis become legal. It's free money, as Walter White said. There's gold in the streets, just waiting for someone to scoop it up.
Yeah.
Fuck taxes. Fuck it. It should be legal, and the government should get the hell out of it and stay the fuck out of our pockets, please. Thank you.
That's all.
Fuck your tax revenue. I don't care about your tax revenue. It's our money. It's our labor. Get out of our stuff. I gotta stop using so many F-bombs. I'm gonna get better at that. Sorry. That'll wake me up.
You say tax or government, his ears perk up.
Exactly. It's all right. It's a work in progress, Chris. We're getting there, man. We're handling it.
Stay out of our business. We got it. We're good. Capitalism will just kind of run shit.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you.
Let the free market be free, baby.
That's right.
Exactly. Let the market work itself out. Now, also, I see on your Super Bowl props, you have a Pacheco anytime touchdown minus 125. I think Pacheco's going to be a big part of their game plan. He's been running the ball like crazy, especially throughout the playoffs. I think the Chiefs' game plan is probably get ahead and then just pound the ball with the run.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, they're going to have to run.
I think there's some. Yeah.
What's the other game plan? What else has worked against the 49ers? You're going to have to gash them, control the clock, keep CMC, keep the MVP, Brock Purdy, shout out AK, no slander here, on the sideline, or the Chiefs are going to have a really hard time.
You gotta win the clock battle,
the possession time.
the time of possession. Yeah,
and we talked about a little bit yesterday with AK. He talked about, he thinks the team that wins this game is going to be the team pretty much controls the tempo, is able to establish that line of scrimmage right there. We seen San Francisco kind of struggle last couple of weeks against Aaron Jones and David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs last week. We've seen them be able to be gashed at times. So maybe you'll see some different looks thrown at them there, some different stunts and things to try to prevent that from being so productive, because we've watched the Chiefs with Isaiah Pacheco gets rolling right there. It really takes a lot of pressure off Patrick Mahomes. The play action comes into play. They're a lot more balanced. They look like a much better football team out there. So San Francisco's really got to work on keeping Pacheco from getting in a rhythm.
Hey, Cricket, am I wrong whenever I think that Green Bay and Detroit were a little bit set up to be a fly on the horse of San Francisco with that power running, and Kansas City's not really that team? Is that gonna affect them? Like, I feel like Green Bay and Detroit were a little bit set up better, maybe.
And that Green Bay game, that Green Bay game's a little weird for me, just because you had most of the 49ers that had 2 weeks off. They hadn't played a football game in about 3 weeks. There, you always expect a little rust in that spot, because most of those guys didn't play in week 18. They already had it locked up, and then they had the bye, obviously. So I attribute some of that in the Green Bay game, a little bit of rust. No shade at y'all's guys. I think y'all played a great game, had a great game plan that day. And then, the Lions have been one of the better rushing teams all year long when both their running backs were healthy. The offensive line, I do think they were more equipped than the Chiefs, but we've also seen the Chiefs have the ability to be able to do that this year. And a couple spots
Pacheco can get mean.
Yeah, when he gets to running, like Eric says, angry at the ground, man, he really is tough to bring down, and he adds a whole other element to that offense. I look for him to try to get him outside too, though. Maybe catch a few passes here. We saw him last week. We should have got over that damn receiving yards last week, and they screwed us on that. I'm telling you, they got to figure out what is a pass and what is a rush in this thing, because they charged us to pass one time on the exact same play that got us minus 5 yards, that took our passing yard or our receiving yards away, and then they ran the same play just a little bit later, and he got them all back, and they called it a run. So
we need to figure that out.
Yeah,
know where the line of scrimmage is. What are we talking about?
Oh, it screwed me twice, man. I had him under 63.5 rushing yards and over 60.5 receiving yards. And so, it double dipped me there. But I do think there's got to be some way. There can't be this one guy sitting up in the box deciding whether it's a pass. If you throw the damn ball more than 3 yards, it's a pass. Period.
Thank you. That's it.
Yep. I think one of the reasons Detroit was so successful is they always had a fresh guy back there, be it Gibbs or Montgomery, and KC basically just has Pacheco. They don't have another guy who can pound it up the middle like that.
You're going to see CEH get 4 or 5 carries, maybe. And he's shown the ability in a couple games. He's not going to give you anything crazy, but you might can look at his rushing yards because he's usually under 10 right there. We saw him a couple weeks ago take one carry for 28 yards. But yeah, you're right. They don't have that 1-2 punch like Detroit has. CEH has not been at all the player they thought he was going to be when they drafted him there in the back end of that first round. So with I'm drawing a blank. What is the other running back?
McKinnon,
Jerick McKinnon has been hurt. I haven't heard anything that's going to say that he's going to be back in there because he adds a different element too. Usually is the pass catching back in that offense. And, I haven't heard anything that's going to tell me he's going to be back in this. So it's pretty much going to be a Pacheco show. And if he can't get rolling, it really kind of takes Kansas City out of their rhythm right there. It allows them to kind of peel their ears back and run after Patrick Mahomes, put him under pressure in the pocket. So they got to establish a line of scrimmage early. And, I hope San Francisco. I'm on San Francisco in this thing. I really am.
Hey, Cricket, I want to come in here and argue with you and make a great case for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I was prepared to do that today until Ari just took a baseball bat to the side of my head with the Rashee Rice stat. So her crystal ball says Rice isn't going to have a good game. I don't have a leg to stand on here with Kansas City. I was kind of already leaning towards San Francisco, like, all right, we got Taylor to the Super Bowl. That's what we were after. We were after eyeballs on the screen, but now we're just going to let it play out. And I think San Francisco is probably the better team here. I like them better.
Abolish the Fed. I'm a big red.
Yes.
Guy. I'm officially a big red one guy.
Yeah, for sure. He's our people, man.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting. There was a 27% increase in wagers placed yesterday on this game since we last talked. So there was 173,000 bets placed at MGM yesterday. 220,000 bets placed today. Yet there's no change for Vegas. A lot of people think Vegas is going to push the line out to -2.5, but it just hasn't pushed out yet. Obviously, we're still waiting for a lot of bets to come in. But
have we seen out of all those bets yesterday? Did we see any, significant, real big money bets from people we might respect or something that come in that would, or is that mostly? I feel like that could be mostly square money right there. What do you think?
Anything moving your L levels?
there's not a ton of pro money really showing up yet. So I would say just keep your eye on what Vegas is doing in this game.
Yeah. I figured the pro money would probably wait closer to the game day. I like to sit and watch. I haven't put my bets in yet for this one because I like to sit and watch the line and, see what the money is doing and how the line's going to move, how Vegas is going to adjust. So I figured most of the sharps out there would probably wait until at least around Friday or something like that and monitor the line movement throughout the week. Maybe we'll hear somebody that's, banged up a little bit that winds up not being able to play or being able to play that changes a game plan or a scheme. So I like to monitor this stuff up till at least 48 hours before. And I usually wind up not putting it in until the morning of the game just based off what I've seen right there. Because I like to see what the line does overnight going into game day right there. Because I feel like a lot of money does come in at that spot.
This plus 112 has me tempted to take the Chiefs on the money line because usually a -2, I'd expect a 105, a 108 value. Ooh, I want that value.
Yeah, fair enough.
But is it? Yeah, even all these secretaries putting their $10 bets in, I don't think that's enough to move the line. Like this line probably won't move until the smart people come in later, right?
Yeah, and people do think it's going to move out to -2.5. Just Vegas hasn't moved it at all yet, and it just seems like Vegas is leaning towards the Niners right now. So there is a lot of money on the Chiefs, and that's showed up consistently, like when people started betting. So to me, this seems like Las Vegas is taking a stand here on the 49ers. Lots of money's coming in, but Vegas isn't budging right now. And there's still level 1 money on the under in this game. And that's just holding steady. It's something I'm just watching, waiting.
Yeah, we're just we're on chill mode right now.
Because that line hasn't done much anything. It opened at 47.5. It crept down to 47 for like 6 hours, maybe. And,
right back up to 47.5.
And it stayed there all week long. So it's pretty stale on that. So probably not a lot of action coming in just yet on that. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel
the chatter I got in my head is I haven't found anybody that's really high on the Chiefs right now. The money may be coming on the Chiefs, but the circle that I roll with is really 49ers thick right now.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful and expect that a game like this, Vegas isn't going to miss this line by much. Not with all the money that'll be bet on
Yeah.
it with the game being played in Vegas. They're going to be pretty sharp when it comes to this. So, be careful. You don't have to bet all these different things. There's so many different options available to you. If you think a line's weird or you think they're right on a line, probably just stay away from it because you're going to get hooked one way or the other. You're going to get real lucky at the end or you're going to get real unlucky. So if you see some spots like that, just stay away from them. You got plenty of other stuff you can bet.
Keep scrolling.
I learned this 2 weeks ago that you don't have to bet every football game. I didn't know that. My friend Chuck from the chat, he introduced me to that concept of it's okay to just
pick a few,
watch the game.
Yeah, man. You're allowed to be a fan, Chris. You're allowed to be a fan, sir.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fun to watch the game and enjoy it, but you don't always have to bet it. And sometimes Vegas really does have tight lines, and especially when it comes to the playoffs and Super Bowls and big games like these, Vegas has it nailed down to the number.
Yeah,
I mean, the pros typically aren't betting a lot in these games. I mean, because there's just so many people betting in this game. A lot of first-time bettors, a lot of people who maybe are just the occasional bettor. A lot of people come in that haven't really bet before. So it's really, it gets a little convoluted with all the money going around. And really at the end of the day, it's only one game. You have so many games throughout the season, and that's what makes you a pro, is betting on all the games throughout the season and being consistent.
Yeah,
and especially with
if you have to lay your entire bankroll on Super Bowl Sunday to turn a profit, you fuck the whole season up. So just stop.
Don't do that.
That's your right as an American, but it's not advisable. And especially with the Super Bowl, you can afford to be picky. Like this props menu where I live and breathe, there's a million options, and you can just keep scrolling and find one. They're like, why is that plus 300? I feel like that's a lot more likely. I expected that to be plus 110. Then you take that, and there's going to be like 7 or 8 in there that you find a big difference between your opinion and the book's opinion.
We're gonna find a lot of EV here, and we're just gonna dig in and maybe it's only 3 bets, and all your friends are on 27 or 139 bets, and we found 3 that were decent.
Yeah,
but
am I betting on the halftime show? Probably, but that's just for fun.
You're gonna have some $1 and $2 bets in the Gatorade. I mean, there's some fun stuff. The kids like to throw. The kids love to put a little of their allowance in dollar bills on little stuff like that. I mean, we have a fun time with it at our house. But as far as the games go, last week, so after the Chiefs-Ravens game, we were into the 49ers. I think it's 17-24. I went and checked the future odds on the Super Bowl on an offshore book, Bet Online. And the Ravens were still the favorite. They'd already lost the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
They were still the favorites in the book. So I went and grabbed Kansas City at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl. I grabbed San Francisco at plus 600 to win the Super Bowl. And then
can't lose.
Now I just sit back and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yep.
I win.
And
that's another way to do it.
We work all year long on these picks and different things, building our accounts and everything. Don't let the Super Bowl.
You should be in the black right now.
Yeah,
watch this show.
Super Bowl
if you watch
way back.
You're in the black.
Don't do that on the last game of the year. You can bet things and you can make money and make it profitable. Don't get yourself in trouble. Don't be betting $50 bills on the Gatorade color and things like that, or the coin flip or all this stuff. Don't be betting on that. If you want to bet on those, fine. But sprinkle your little $2 to $5 bets and stuff, and then you can have 10 of those bets for $50 versus one.
Exactly.
You're gonna lose. You lose those big bets early, man. It can send you on tilt, and you wind up trying to recover from that. Next thing you know, instead of being down $50 at the end of the night, you're down 500.
Great point, Chuck. Sienna versus Maris can be my Super Bowl if the money is right. Exactly. You can win that money on college basketball tomorrow.
And still enjoy the Super Bowl.
He's making a reference. Yeah, he's making a reference to one of my TikTok plays, actually. If you follow me on TikTok, Ariel Calista, I post all my official plays of the day where you guys all can keep track of my ROI. A lot of people, they've been following along since the beginning.
Too busy keeping track of mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's and sticking to your unit sizes and keeping consistent with your unit sizes and not chasing losses. These are all things that really make like a professional handicapper. And, if you do see games like Sienna versus Maris, like sometimes there are games that are just smaller that people aren't watching that are just kind of, there's so many games being played all the time. Sometimes it's the smaller games where you really can make a profit and the money's green either way.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Those are gems laying in there like that, man. You
You
can
can
find those
still
all
watch
over
the
the
Super
place.
Bowl while you bet that other game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's okay.
Mhm.
Heavy a man
Yeah.
after my own heart. I think the overtime bet has lost its value. I liked it when it was plus 1,200. It's down to below 10-1. Yeah. I mean, look into how many Super Bowls have gone to overtime, how many times these teams have gone to overtime. Now I'm going to dig into all that. I've been deep in refs this week, and judge a lot of these refs that I looked at. I'm looking into these refs like their ex-wives are paying me to do it. A lot of them have thrown a
What you
lot
gotta
less
do, man.
flags, and there's been a lot fewer points in their games down the second half of the season. I'm not sure when they pick the refs. I'm going to get into that process later today. But before I forget, I wanted to say anecdotally, just applying to myself, I'm a recovering degenerate. I'll never fully recover. I'm always going to bet a parlay or some greyhounds now and again. But just following your email and your TikTok, Ari, has made me a much more disciplined better. Like there was a bet I loved last night and I did not exceed my limit and I didn't hit it, but I made up for it on the other bet where I made the same bet and we're up like $5. And
That's awesome.
I think just reading the emails and watching your TikTok and sticking to the plan, it begets responsibility. Like I woke up one day and I'm like, hang on. Am I 35% more responsible right now? I think I am.
Exactly, man. That's the thing. She talked about keeping your unit size the same. A lot of people, and Steps is in here. I know that. No, and Steps does pretty well with it. He's pretty good at picking his spots. But a lot of people want to adjust those unit sizes. I don't believe in that. I'm all about a volume-based system and small investments for small returns to build something over time. So I don't really like messing with my unit size too much. And I always think that whatever your unit size is, whether it's $1 all the way up to $100, I think you should have 100 units available because you're going to bet futures and things like that. You're usually going to have 30% of your bankroll tied up in futures. That's money you can't use for 3 or 4 months in a lot of spots. So I always recommend having at least 100, really upwards close to 150 to 200 units available to you so you can bet all these different things and be able to get the value where you want to find it. So I don't like adjusting going up to these 5-10 unit plays and stuff because I feel like for me, when I lose one of those, it does kind of put me on tilt a little bit. Now I'm trying to recover this money that I've built 2 weeks building up, and now I'm trying to recover it in one day. Next thing I know, I'm down 30 units where I should have only been down, 5.
You're out there trying to score a 13-point touchdown, and it's just not possible.
It ain't possible, man. You can't get there from here.
Yeah.
So this is
that's a great
phenomenal
example.
because this is good because I think we have 2 different betting strategy styles on the show because Ari is not a volume better. She's
she's like a sniper.
Better. Yeah, sniper versus a
machine gunner.
A shotgun. So Cricket's a 12-gauge spread shotgun, and Ari is more of a sit up in the window and pick them off with headshots.
I'm trying to just go from minigun
both ways. So you win both ways, but that's good because we can see the difference in it. And these 2 philosophies
nailed it.
Thank you. Are 2 of the main ones that you see like on YouTube when you go and you look up betting 101, which I've done my whole, trying to learn. I've learned more in the last, just since I've been talking to you folks. But the main 2 strategies might be right here in the room, which is phenomenal because I love a little pushback and the American Republic be born into capitalism and a free market, and the best idea will shine.
Yep.
And we will fucking know.
This is where bad ideas come to die.
I think I understood what Chris was saying there, but hell yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're a volume better, a small and a long-term investment. And Ari's gonna pick the 2 or 3 games and go a little. Do you probably bet?
I understood all that. Is when you started talking about capitalism and the American Republic and all this different stuff that you really lost me. But yeah, beyond that, we both win. If that's what you're saying.
So so when you have a good community or a hive mind of people that we can all argue, the best idea will come to the top, and then we all win.
And absolutely, there's more than one way to skin a cat too. You don't have to do it just one way. There's a lot of different ways to win at this stuff, but you got to read between the lines, find all the different angles.
Different sports and seasons may require a different push algorithm differently or whatever, maybe require different there's 164 baseball games, there's 18 football games is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm tracking the NBA games.
And
the unders are starting to look pretty sharp.
I'm trying to
not
find
mad
this.
about that.
The Suns Wizards game, Pacers Hornets game. The unders are starting to look sharp.
Suns,
Some players
Wizards,
are
Pacers,
developing.
Hornets, you say. See, now the old me would say, I need to parlay those.
Yes, exactly. But not anymore.
But the new
Even if you do a parlay, just make sure you have straight bets in additionally. And I mean, I love straight bets because, like, first of all, you're getting more reward points than you would like with a parlay, but also like you still win even if one of the games loses. Like you're still profitable over time. So even if you do play a parlay, like just make it the same unit size that you place on each straight bet. But
Well, for me, I'd like to say that it's been 5 days since my last parlay, and I feel pretty comfortable right now, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had you guys for support through my parlay sobriety, and it's working out well for me.
Should we make coins or keychains?
Yes, I said that. I thought we should make like a 24-hour coin for your first 24 hours without a parlay, and then a 30-day coin if you make it 30 days without a parlay.
I'm gonna have a whole necklace of 24-hour tags.
Yes, and then the front of it will be DJ Army.
Okay, guys, I got this covered. Let's do it. We'll have our own necklaces.
DJ Army dog tags. The ideas are just flying.
I love it. This is great.
Chris is in confession. Yes,
that's right. Sometimes you got to do that.
You were talking to us about this 2-point conversion bet that the smart folks have been getting down on. Chris got it at plus 300. I got it yesterday at plus 225. It may have dropped even more.
Huh.
What?
Yeah, this is what's considered the long shot, my long shot prop of the day here. The sharps are thinking that there's going to be a 2-point conversion, and like you said, there's still really good odds on this. It's still a long shot though, and that's something you need to consider as you're playing this. But it seems like an interesting play. Like this is really just one football game. So like having a lot of different props here and having, some time to really go through and see some props that are interesting and popping out. It's you still need to consider this is a long shot play, but if this is interesting to you, speaking to you, I'd say play it for sure.
I played it. I put a half a unit on it yesterday. Bam.
Plus nice. Speak to me. And as part of my recovery, like yesterday, Chris called me about this 2-point conversion. I'm like, hang on, I bet the octopus, which is the same player to score the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, which is only plus 550.
Awesome.
It's like, dude, you just need it to happen. We don't need to get into specific people.
Yeah, I think it's actually higher than that on DraftKings, man. I thought I saw it just a minute ago at like plus 1,400 or something for the octopus.
Yeah, DraftKings has
Hey, I can get Eric really excited about a 3-leg parlay, and by the time he press send, it's 27 legs.
I'm like, well, if that happens,
we just add this
correlation. It's all correlation, and then pretty soon I'm Charlie Day in front of the bulletin board.
I get it. Yeah, it's plus 1,400 for an octopus over on DraftKings right now, Eric. I think you've intrigued me, man. I think
we don't get DraftKings. They just F us right in the.
It's kind of crazy though that y'all's lines are that much different though. If you're only getting plus 550 versus plus 1,400, they kind of are fucking you there, man.
Yep. Another one I saw was Kelsey 11 receptions is plus 550 over on DK, and it's like plus 230 or something on the offshore. So shop around.
Yeah, I like the Kelsey anytime touchdown minus 115. That's
yes,
those are still good odds. So
for any of y'all, those of y'all that are new out there, make sure and we talk about line shopping. For those of y'all that don't know what that is, that means if you're in a spot where you have different books available to you, like if you're in a legal sports betting state, you can have FanDuel and DraftKings and all these different books. Have multiple books if you can, because you can go like me and Eric talking right now, where the odds are vastly different on these two sites. Go and find the best value. Don't bet on something and lose. I mean, he would lose a lot of value there at plus 550 versus plus 1,400. So if you have it available, you make sure and shop around and get the best odds on your money so you're not losing any value.
Exactly. Chuck says, truthfully, you do have a couple hammerhead sharps that listen, and now they talk. This will become a factor down the road. Yeah, we talk about trends versus factors. Smart people are factors. They're consistently here. And that's how you win. That's how you win in any business, really.
Yeah.
You find the smart people and you surround yourselves with them.
Absolutely, sir. That's a fact.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
having worked in this for a little while, we've met some amazing people. You two, right near the top of the list.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
Thanks.
We do. I have. I've been a very blessed student. This too, man. Will brought me to a lot of y'all, and it's been a really cool experience, man. We got some sharp folks around this parts now.
Yeah, I love it. We've been growing our audience. We have so many new people listening to this. And I'm really happy that you guys brought me into this as well. And I'm really excited for our new rebrand because this is going to be so great. We're going to have an EPK. We're going to do a press release. There's just so many new things coming. We'll have a store, a website, and everything it'll just look really tight and it'll look really cool. So we have some cool things in store here.
What an exciting time to be alive.
Oh, man. Of all the times to be alive, we got to be alive right now. Think about that. Chuck says last place he would ever bet DraftKings. That's all the review I need.
Yeah, definitely line shop because really, like when you start tracking some sports books closely, like you could see which sports books are tighter than others. There's one sports book in particular in Las Vegas that they're only in Nevada, actually. They have like the tightest lines. They always move the line before any other sports book in Vegas has time to move it. So when I see them move the line in any particular direction, if it's a game that I'm already really liking and I'm interested in, I keep their sports book up. I watch the line move, and then I'll go bet somewhere else where I could still get the better line and get the better numbers.
And some books. The reason I like DraftKings so much is because they were in on the ground floor of this thing. Them and FanDuel, basically, they're the OGs in this deal, and they do provide so many more options available to you than I experiment with Fanatics a little bit this year. Not a fan, really not a fan. So sorry if I'm hurting anybody's feelings out there. I heard somebody yesterday in the comments say they liked it. I don't at all. And so DraftKings, the odds of you couldn't even bet defensive props on Fanatics and things. I don't know why they wouldn't make these available because they'd be making a killing off of them. But, yeah, that's the big thing for me is DraftKings just offers so many options that, the odds may be a little different sometimes, but it makes it up for me just the fact that I can actually bet most of the picks that I want to be able to play.
Heavy's got a pick. Love Colin Sexton over 5.5 assists. My rule is if I have to Google a guy, it's probably a great bet.
I just bet step stuff, man. I don't even he's always finding this obscure Colin Sexton over 5.5 assists, and I've never even heard of the guy. And so I just set it and forget it. I don't even check it. I just count the money in my account the next morning, man. Steps is on fire.
Patriots got smoked meatballs on the Super Bowl menu.
Ooh, man.
It's also the Super Bowl of appetizers. So
fact.
Get some bacon wrapped water chestnuts going. Maybe some little tacos. I don't know. Whatever
we got to get Steps and Patriot together to make us a smorgasbord, man. Them boys always talking about food. It's always making my mouth water on here.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. On another podcast I'm on, they're always talking about the sausage dip.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
AK swears by that sausage dip, man.
Yeah, that'll pull you out of a losing streak, I've heard.
Yeah, he says it helps him win games.
Ooh,
it does.
I love that.
She said it does.
I'm a believer in the sausage dip.
Fair enough.
Hey, what are we looking at hockey today? You going to try to bet this All-Star game? Do you bet an All-Star game cricket, or you enjoy an All-Star game?
The All-Star game was yesterday, my friend, so we'll have to wait till tomorrow before we can bet any hockey.
Oh, I thought Buku said it was today. My bad.
Well, if it is, then my mind is blown because I watched it with Buku yesterday. So
it was last night, like 5 or 6 o'clock. It was a little early. I know I was surprised.
It was
by
3.
The start
it would have been 2 p.m. y'all's time. 3 p.m. our time is when it got started. So it was up in Toronto where it was. So.
Well, how'd the horses do yesterday? How'd you do, Ari, and the horses? I don't know how to bet them, so I didn't bet that. It wasn't on BetUS like all easy. It was.
They have another app called TVG, which you might have in Wisconsin.
Not in our state, no. I use At the Races for all my information. It's got American and European tracks on it. But if you're not in a legal state, horse racing resources can be limited. TV is a great resource.
I gotta find me one too because DraftKings won't let you bet them either.
Yeah, fierceness was not fierce yesterday. Not at all.
These things happen.
Yeah, I mean, these things happen. I mean, yeah, these things happen. You can't predict all of the races, right? You know, the horse that won did look good as he was coming out onto the track. But I mean, really, 7 fierceness, he really did look good coming onto the track. I was just really disappointed that, you know, he let the other horses set the pace. It was a very slow race, very slow actually compared to like other races of, you know, I mean, very, very slow. And he let the other horses set the pace and he didn't take the lead. And it was surprising, you know.
In your defense, the email said about the 15-1 horse Hades that won. This undefeated horse from Florida is anticipated to be the leader into the first turn based on the fact that he has a desirable inside post for a short run to the turn. So there was definitely some nuggets in there that told you, hey, maybe sprinkle a little on Hades.
Can you bet things like that where you can you bet them to be leading at the first turn and stuff?
You could
I don't know. I haven't messed with the
at the first turn, but there's so many other types of bets that you could place in horses. I'm excited for our horse racing show because I really want to learn a deep dive into it. And I think there's so many young people that are interested in racing and horse racing, and they just haven't learned how to read the charts and really what everything means and how to actually determine which horse is going to perform. And
there's so much terminology.
The thing is like even when you're looking at like stud fees and stuff, sometimes like, you know, these horses that are bred to be like millionaire baby horses, it's, you know, they're not always like as good as some of the horses that are just coming from like an average background that might just like, you know, average heritage that, you know, do really perform well.
And for my money, there is no better juice. By that, I mean gambling excitement than winning a horse race.
Chuck says we can use TVG here.
Nice.
It amazes
me. That's
what he said.
It amazes
Hell
me.
Yeah.
The
That's
amount
what
of money.
I thought you could use TVG, but I wasn't sure.
It amazes me the amount of money people pay for horse sperm.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
They'll pay you $1 million for a cup.
That's
like a little cup. It's not a big cup either. It's like a shot glass.
Not a measuring cup.
No.
Can we just sell? Can we just sell horse sperm? Well,
if you got the horses that somebody wants to buy their sperm, you actually have to have a horse where somebody wants their sperm.
Do they check it? I mean, really? I got a couple dogs. We can make a good deal.
I mean, you
give
can
me
try.
a real phone number.
Once again,
I mean, they list the parents and the grand.
We could come up with some. Really
I mean, I
cool
guess
names.
in our terminology, we would, you know, like they list all of the sires and everything. So you know, like if that horse was a winner or not from the heritage, and it's all there on the chart. So you could.
All right, I have a guy over here named Eric who can think up horse names like this.
Yeah, we could come up with horse names.
I bet AK is good at that.
I could get a fucking family tree tomorrow.
You put me and AK in a room together with a bong, and we're gonna come up with 100 horse names per hour.
Oh my god, I want to watch that. Just that. Like I want to watch the process of you deciding on these. That's entertainment right there. Yeah, Steph, they wouldn't let me bet on WWE. I was totally betting on your picks, man, and I would have won a little plus 400 action. And they knew it was a winner. They said, "Nope, Steph said it. We're taking it down, man."
Yep, not gonna offer that anymore. We can't let you win these. See, that's why we got to band together and essentially become the gambling Avengers to take down these shady, crooked ass books.
Love it, man. Gambling Avengers. That's awesome.
Wow. I love seeing all the interest in horse racing in the comments here. This is going to be a big show, and I really hope to get a lot of young people involved too. Like, I love that they featured Alex Earl. And I hope to keep seeing more young people like getting involved in horse racing. And also like I hope like, there's going to be more of a focus on, the safety and health of the horses in the future.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
how big a deal that was.
Oh yeah.
Like last year, I mean, I read an article. I remember it was probably around Triple Crown time. Don't remember exactly, but talking about the amount of horses that do get euthanized at some of these tracks and things. I mean, the numbers kind of shocked me is how high that was. So I think we do got to look at something as far as that goes from, health. We're always worried about the health of the athletes, man. We should be with the horses too, man. We got to figure something out here. Do you think a lot of that contributes to like, is it steroids or they just
No,
overworking
I
these
think
horses?
I think it's actually contributed a lot to the fact that because of all of these like anti-doping laws that they've put in place over the years, I think there's actually drugs and medications out there that would help the horses like breathe better, help their lungs expand and contract easier, so they're not bleeding. There's a lot of things out there that actually could really truly help the animals that they've banned because they're considered like drugs, drugging your animal or whatever, performance enhancement, doping, it's kind of sad because like a lot of things that aren't performance enhancers have still been banned, even if it would improve the health of the horses. And I think we really need to start having that conversation.
It seems like something needs to be done. Those numbers really kind of set me aback, and I can't remember exactly what they were, but they were very high. And you can Google that stuff and look it up, but it really kind of shocked me because a lot of them you don't hear about. Well, a lot of this stuff, it's not like you may see something happen where a horse comes up lame in a big time race or something, but all those little prelims and all these other side tracks and stuff that are hosting races every weekend that we don't even hear about, there's a lot of horses that are dying in places like that based on some of this stuff. So I think it's something that definitely needs to be a concern, be looked at for the health of the horses overall.
And why wouldn't you drill down into that and figure out which substances are helpful and which substances are actually bad performance enhancing substances? Like if we can introduce more oxygen into the blood, expand ventricles or whatever other smart stuff I'm not, wise enough to really talk about, let's do that. Then we can have healthier horses and faster horses. That's a win-win.
It's not like they don't have the money to do it, I mean, if you're paying $1 million for a cup of sperm, there's a lot of money in horse racing. It makes a lot of money. It's usually a more upper class type thing. So there's a lot of money in that. And I feel like there's a money there to be able to do this research and find these things out.
Oh yeah, the money is there. And a lot of it really does lie. And, what we were talking about recently was terpenes. There's a lot of drugs that are being made from terpenes right now, like limonene. It's great for women with like breast cancer to apply it topically. There's a lot of like new research coming out, and really terpenes are interesting because they're kind of grandfathered in under the fragrance laws. So so really it's not like making food where you have to like list all of your ingredients, and there's so many rare terpenes out there. You'll see more in my book that's coming out. I'm writing a book called Terpenes Illuminated. It will be coming out, in the next couple months. It's been a lot of work. I have over 400 pages already written on it.
Damn.
So this is kind of a guide to show people like there's terpenes out there that could really help people, and they're already being used in cancer drugs. And my company is pioneering and really paving the way for terpenes that are created without like environmental damage. I'm creating like pure bioidentical terpenes out of yeast in a vat. And I'm doing this out with my company in California, but we're creating these rare terpenes that, would typically, you'd be cutting down hundreds of thousands, if not millions of like Pacific yew trees, or, really destroying the environment to harvest terpenes. So coming out with this book and also showing people how you could have these bioidentical, they're cleaner than like harvesting them and extracting them from nature. And, you're able to get these rare terpenes that are hard to obtain and environmentally destructive. So, I think like we could really help the animals as well as humans just by focusing in on this more and doing more research in these areas.
I don't want to get hyperbolic, but she might save the world.
Facts. I like it, man. And why would we want to do these things? Why wouldn't we want to be able to create a better product? Because, hey, let's be real. The better product is if the horses stay alive and can keep racing. So, why wouldn't we want to do these things, to put the time and the effort and the money into this so we can figure this out to provide a better product overall? That's how you grow the sport.
Exactly. Yeah. And making sure that the animals are healthy and happy and able to live good lives. That's really what we're about. And I think that you'll have a lot of young people hop into horse racing. And I mean, it's once you're in horse racing and you're betting on horse racing, you could do it forever. Yeah. And I think getting young people involved by really focusing on the safety and the health of the animals by providing them with, like real products that work, even if it is considered, I mean, right now, performance enhancing, if it's actually going to like not really enhance their performance, but just help the animal.
Just make them healthier.
We need to be able to have the research and studies there to show that, these things are good for the animals. And if it's focused on the animals, I think you're going to have the whole young generation of people really stand behind horse racing and get involved.
Yep. And you'll have all kinds of animal advocates in there.
Absolutely. And horses really do love to race, like despite what some people like to say. I mean, the truth is horses in the wild run miles all day. I mean, wild horses really, if you just look at their natural like migration patterns, they run a lot. So horses who like to run, they love to go out there and run, and they know it's a race and they like to win. So, I mean, you're not hurting a horse just by making it race. You're hurting a horse by not giving him access to things that actually help the health of the horse.
Yeah, they're built to run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loki, you have just tuned into a little horse talk.
Yeah,
that's right. We're horse racing right now. Look.
We're not horse racing. Before you know it, we'll be chasing the sun, betting America, Europe, China, America, Europe, China, not sleeping.
We ain't scared.
Morning, Heather. Love seeing the love for horse racing. See, this is gonna be massive.
Yeah. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Bringing it back to the football, you have a Deebo Samuel touchdown on here for plus odds in the email. I think Shanahan is going to be so excited to have Deebo Samuel back in the lineup. He clearly wanted to use him against Green Bay and was unable to because he left early with a shoulder injury. But 2 weeks to recover, you think he's going to be a big part of the game plan?
Yeah, I also like Deebo Samuel over 56.5 receiving yards too. So this is going to be a big game for him.
I think so. I think maybe even some total yards. Cricket, is he going to be running the ball?
I think a nice bet you should sprinkle a little bit on is Deebo Samuel to win the Super Bowl MVP at plus 2,000. A little 20-1 action. I think the guy's going to be heavily involved. Probably had to be a little careful with him last week because coming back off that injury from Green Bay, we didn't know what we were going to get out of him. Didn't know if he'd be able to go the course, but he didn't look banged up at all to me. It didn't look like there was anything really missing there. He was able to be involved in the offense. They got him the ball a lot. And I think he's a guy that can really be a game breaker. He is the X factor for me for San Francisco. That offense takes a major step back when he has to go to the sideline. So I think they're going to have that guy heavily involved. He's going to get a few carries. He's going to catch some passes in space. We know this guy can take the ball to the house anytime he touches it. So I like Deebo for a little sprinkle on Super Bowl MVP at plus 2,000 because if he does come out, he comes out, runs one in, winds up catching another pass for a touchdown, has over 120 all-purpose yards, something like that. He's going to be right there in the conversation for that thing. So at 20-1, I think it's probably the best value you can get on an MVP odds right now.
Yeah, that's solid. I mean, wide receivers have won Super Bowl MVP before, and he's a Swiss Army knife guy.
Yeah, hybrid, man. And so he's going to get so many more opportunities right there. He's definitely a guy that's going to get enough volume that he could win this thing.
If he has a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown, and one of those is the one that puts him ahead for the W, I mean, he's definitely in the mix.
Well, we've even seen spots where they put him back to return kicks, We've even seen that every now and then.
Roll for 350. Yeah, if he returns a kick, maybe. I wonder who the Chiefs are going to put back there, because I was watching the kickoffs and all the Chiefs and 49ers Super Bowl trying to gauge if there's going to be a touchback or not. No touchback is plus 220. I can't not bet that. But they had Mecole Hardman back there, and I do not think They're going to have Mecole Hardman back there next Sunday.
They should put McCole Hardman up in the skybox. Let him watch from up there, man.
Yeah, you just go ahead and wear a sweatshirt. Do you think they're going to bench Chase Young, Cricket?
No, I mean, I wouldn't think they would be. I mean, not in this game. You didn't trade for this guy to be able to, he's going to come out there. He's going to get his volume. I mean, Nick Bosa's obviously the dude in this offense right there. But Chase Young, we saw him make some plays last week. He's a freak too. So, I don't think any way you just set him down or anything like that. But, yeah, you're going to see some rotations here. Why do you ask me that? Why are you thinking they might do that?
Because they've been talking about it this week. He may be benched. Why? So I'm thinking, then I look at his sack odds, over 0.25 sacks. So he just has to split a sack with somebody.
Yeah.
Is plus 225. I think that either hits because he's played and he's highly motivated, or it gets refunded because he doesn't play.
Yeah, I'm curious on this because I have not seen this yet. What are the reasoning behind it? Because I felt like he had a pretty good game in that line. He made a couple big plays behind the line. He looked like he was, healthy. Looked like he was out there really being Chase Young. I mean, we expected this guy to be a monster and just a game wrecker. He hasn't really been that yet for us. Granted, up in Washington, I don't put a lot of stock in that. I want to see how he winds up rolling this thing. But I haven't heard anything about this, so I don't know why they'd be talking about something like that.
Lack of effort throughout the playoffs is what they're saying. But there is no lack of effort in this guy. Heavy's here. You got a fresh haircut. You may have touched up the beard.
Dang,
holy
man.
shit.
Wow.
Look, man.
I can't my eyes. The fucking bling on that fucking head. That is gorgeous.
That's the prettiest man on Rumble right there.
Downright respectable. Hell, I'd hire you, sir.
Yeah, you're hired, man.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Key is to not let a white person cut your hair. That's the key.
Is that the key? That's fair.
Did you see the article?
Whoever did that was a sharp. We would call them a sharp in the barber business.
That barbershop is probably named Sharp's Barbershop. I saw an article that said everybody's going to get their haircut asking for the Kelsey. This New York Times article suggested that Travis Kelsey invented the fade.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, no.
The goddamn United States Marine Corps invented the fade, young man.
You're right. You're right about that.
Get him.
What came out first, Full Metal Jacket or Travis Kelsey?
Oh, yeah. See, leave it there. Just leave it there. Don't even answer for him. Just drop the mic, walk off.
Anyway, Heavy, how you doing? I saw you put a Man U bet in here, and I've been trying to find it ever since. They're playing a Wolverhampton or a West Hampton, or what's happening?
As West Hampton, they're down 2-0. I just live bet plus 2.5. But here's the thing: I don't live bet ever really. And you guys are talking about being disciplined and how disciplined I am, and Chris calls me the Prius.
Heavy as a goddamn Prius.
Are you making a pull out over
here?
He is good.
Dude,
gas.
I'm just over here, just firing away. He's just
clicking, man. He's clicking fingers sore. He got.
I almost went into the blackjack room and played some.
Get out of the blackjack room.
I didn't go. Man. I almost did.
I've been known to stop in the blackjack tables once in a while.
I went over to Buku's yesterday, and he's telling me some shit about playing online roulette and stuff. I said, between you, Steps, and Pissant, man, I'm going to have a stroke.
I like a live dealer once in a while. Like if I have, I'll just go in. I'll say if I lose the first two hands, I'm out, and you got to stick by that. But then if
if you're gonna do that, go play some Hold'em. Something you have a little control over.
Thank you, Chris.
Where you can manage your life.
But when you're sitting here on still get that thrill. You're on an electronic blackjack machine that I know the algorithm, but you can't tell me if you play blackjack perfectly, the house still has a 51-49 edge. So you can't.
Do you know why they're still alive? This Bet US is still alive, even though we hammer them every week because you're playing blackjack. That's why.
These offshores offshore books have a bunch of lovely ladies with names that definitely aren't their names dealing blackjack. So if I see a live person, I'm okay. But I'm not playing a machine.
I try to walk by them tables everywhere I go.
I'd love to do a live stream on a weekend night, nothing going on, where Chris can just coach me through some poker. It'll be I'll use my money, but you just tell me how to play the hand.
Oh, me and Cricket and Heavy should do a Hold'em, a fun little $5 tournament on a live stream and just go crush it with Heavy.
Y'all got to start hopping in over
your money.
If y'all want to play some poker, man, you need to hop in with my guy Bruno over at Club GG. Get in the club Snap Call. It's call with a K, but it's real money. They do like last night. They had a little $22 rebuy tournament. You can hop in there. You don't have to get real deep in your pocket, but a lot of fun, man. A lot of good players over there. You can learn a lot. It's easy. You play right on your phone. It's on the app, Club GG, then the club Snap Call. So go check out Bruno over there, man. I played a little tournament last night. So it's a lot of fun. But, yeah, if you're going to do something like that heavy, play poker, man, where you actually have some control.
Hey, here's my problem. So I'm on Snap Call, and I think I'm accepted. I'm in there. But how do I know when they're going to play something like that? I would have loved to join last night. I've been in there.
And I'll make sure to let you know. You probably turn your notifications on. They'll send you a little thing in your inbox. But I'll do better about letting you know. There, I just hopped in the last minute last night. Yeah, check in. They usually when it's on trying to do them at about 7:30 at night is when they've been starting them. You know, you usually late reg for 2 hours after that up to 9:30. But yeah, they're just building the club. They opened this club about 2 weeks ago, and they built it up. They've already got over 50 people in this thing, and it's really kind of growing pretty quick. But you can get over there. They're good dudes. I totally endorse these guys. Your money is always safe. I've known these guys for 20 plus years, so they're good dudes. And I think you check them out. Club GG, the club Snap Call. But yeah, that's what you should be doing, heavy, not electronic blackjack.
Hey, I'd love to get on a stream and play one of those tournaments, one of Bruno's tournaments with heavy, and let's teach them how to play. Let's teach them how to start a tournament. That way, we play a lot of hands for a little bit of money. We get a lot of experience. It's a little different than cash, but it's more your speed. It'll be a Prius speed.
Yeah,
play
nice
tournaments, heavy.
Can I be a Tesla, or why do I have to be a Prius?
Heavy, you don't have.
You can be a
because you get 50 miles a gallon, bro.
Nah,
you can be a Plaid.
I'm a Tesla.
Well, after that haircut, all right, you are a Tesla after that haircut. Right. The Prius is gone.
Hey, that's fair.
Okay. What are you tracking over there, Miss Ari? I every time you pound on your computer, I'm like, oh, she's looking at something.
Yeah, what she got?
Okay. Well, let's go over the rest of the props that I have. I like Brock Purdy over 12.5 rushing yards. Do you guys have any props on Purdy?
Well, first of all, we call that the AK, and we bet that every week. Whatever Purdy's over rushing yards is called that. So hammer the AK tonight.
No slander.
Do it right now. Hammer it.
I like that. What do you guys have any other props on Purdy?
I don't. I'm not sure about Purdy. I am taking the rushing one though because
I like the rushing. That's where I stop with him.
And the fact that you like it, I'm trying to figure out who's going to get an interception because if they get to him, he's going to throw the pick. But I can't figure out who.
I feel like in these big games, it's always a good thing or like a good idea to look at the quarterback rushing, especially a guy like Purdy. He can pick that up in one run, 12.5 yards. He's not golf where his line set at 0.5 over a half rushing yard. So I think he went over that last week, didn't he? He had one really solid run. Yeah.
Well,
I think he put his shoulder down on one of them too.
Yes,
so
that's exactly.
In these big games, these quarterbacks tend to play a little bit more looser. Yeah, they're going to do anything they can do to get a first down to keep the chains moving, and especially this is the Super Bowl, so everybody's going to be dialed in, locked in on every single play. And every single play, they're going to put it all on the line. So
whatever.
We're probably taking yards. If the Lions made it, we're probably taking Jared Goff plus 3 yards over. We're taking the over on 3 yards rush, and we're taking the over on any quarterback here in this spot. Maybe not maybe not Peyton Manning after his third neck surgery, but
Mahomes. And looking at his old Super Bowls, getting the kickoff information, he's run for in his 3 Super Bowls 9 for 29, 5 for 33, and 6 for 44.
Yeah, he's there to win it. He's there to win it, boys.
Yeah.
What's his line
set at? Needs to be done.
What is his line set? Here, I'll look it up.
I think it's high 20s.
Are you playing soccer today, Heavy? Are you playing football, Easter, or across the pond football? What do they call that?
Yeah, I got a couple plays going today. Didn't have the greatest day yesterday in soccer, but man, I was on a run for about 2 weeks there where I just couldn't hit or I couldn't miss on a soccer bet. So it's expected, but you got to love these days where you get a chance to bounce back and get on the winning side. So I got a couple early plays. If you follow me on Twitter, I post everything over there at heavy_steps. Look on there. Yeah, I got all the plays. The rest of the day, you can follow them. So I still have not put in one Super Bowl bet. Believe it or not.
Like Big Red once said, today we come back strong. Oh, I got some Super Bowl bets in.
Oh, I know you do. I was there. Is there a bet for like a ball to hit like an upright or
Yes,
something like
yes.
that?
We found
is
it
that at?
yesterday.
First missed field goal to bounce off the upright is the longest odds over wide right and wide left. I think short is like plus 300 somewhere in there. I'm weighing. I was listening to Usher songs last week, trying to figure out, which song he's going to start with. And the top few, like all the 3 digits favorites, are all collaborations. I don't think he comes out with somebody to begin with, so it's going to be a solo song. Narrowing.
I didn't do too well on the prop bets last year with all the Gatorade bet. It is, come on, it is like
whatever. I beat the Gatorade. I hit purple at like 8-1 last year.
I have a whole section for sucker bets, and it's in there.
It's blue this year.
I think it's no. I think
color
it's no
that
liquid. I think
when are they going to screw us all up
boy
and throw the white Gatorade in there one time?
I think Shanahan's a pretty boy who's going to duck the Gatorade shower, and I think it's no Gatorade, 20-1.
Is there no Gatorade? That's an option.
Yes.
Has anybody ever won a Super Bowl not got the Gatorade shower?
I'm not sure. See, now you've just added 2 hours to my research today.
That's what I'm saying. Now you got to dive back into this thing and watch the end of that. Every Super Bowl, the last 57 Super Bowls, you got to see if there's any coaches that didn't get Gatorated.
I bet YouTube has the end of every Super Bowl that I can just
zero chance they Gatorated fucking Vince Lombardi.
I started to say you can't really go back too far because some of those guys would have punched somebody in the mouth if they'd have
Yeah,
we got to go.
They were rough back then, boy.
From 85 on, probably.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
the
probably
Ditka era.
Whenever they started going to Disney World, that's when you start.
Well, for one, there were Super Bowls played.
World.
There were Super Bowls played where Gatorade didn't exist too. So
yes,
yep. The first half tie was terrible odds, but for our buddy Pissan, I did take first quarter tie plus 260.
Oh, okay.
I
don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
I also took under half a field goal in the first quarter because I think these are two aggressive teams who aren't going to settle for a field goal early in the game.
You don't think so? What if they're in like if they're like the 30 in between the 30 and 40, you think they'll still go for it?
I think that San Francisco's gonna be real careful with Jake Moody anyway. He's been struggling a little bit. He wound up kind of righting the ship. He missed the first one he kicked last week, righted the ship after that, but he had missed when he missed that first one last week, I think he'd missed 3 of his last 4 or something. So he was struggling a little bit. So I think San Francisco might be, you see some of those 4th and shorts, you might, especially if it's on like kind of that verge there, where it's right on the 50-yard verge or something, you might see him wind up going for it early on just to keep the pressure off him in case they need him later. You don't want him to get started bad in that thing and be spiraling out of control.
Dude. What were you saying, Heavy?
Yeah, I just, my instincts tell me that the 49ers they've gotten their worst football the playoffs out of their way in the first half last week.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like we're going to see that second half team right off the bat in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to be dialed in, but at the same time, the Chiefs have always been a team that has been able to show up. They've got players that have experienced this game. They've won Super Bowls. They got a great head coach. They'll be prepared too. But I just think from a talent perspective, across the field on both sides of the football, the 49ers have the advantage. It's just a matter of, do they show up and do they come out firing and not start out slow like last week? But I think I'm going to go 49ers. That's where I'm leaning towards right now.
I think so too. I kind of agree with you there, Heavy. I think that we have seen, they've struggled early in the first half in both these last 2 games. Really found themselves punched in the mouth both times. I think you do see more of that team from the second half this week early, especially with 2 weeks to prepare. Now, you also on the other side, Patriots, right, man? They got a whole bunch of dudes on that other sideline too, and a couple goats in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So, they're going to be ready too. And we all know how Andy Reid, how good he is when he gets 2 weeks of preparation on a team. So that's kind of, at first I thought I was all over the over in this thing just because of the, but at the same time with that line staying is still, I expected to see it go up a little bit. And
I'm getting under vibes.
And you got it's the big game stuff. You got all the different other things that are going around with distractions and stuff too. It's not uncommon to see a team start a little slow in this thing due to jitters, everybody being a little too hype right there. So that's the only thing. I'm going to monitor the line throughout the week, but I think I might be leaning back toward this under on this thing.
I had one. I had a prop come across, and Eric, I thought about you, and I forgot to message you, so I'm going to ask you right now because it just came back to mind. A lineman to score a touchdown.
Ooh,
what is that? He
loves that. He loves
dude,
that.
I would like it a lot more.
Talking about Andy Reid, and Andy Reid seems like the type who would draw up something for the lineman.
If it was Detroit, you'd have to lay money.
I do have over 2.5 players make a passing attempt plus 100.
Ooh.
I like that.
Okay, so that would be like a trick play, a little
That's a
trick
sneaky
play,
angle.
reverse pass.
Debo could do that. CMC's been known to throw a pass or two.
There's gonna be a trick play in this game.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what it is.
What it is and how it's run. Yeah. I think these two coaches, maybe that's why the Sharps are on the 2-point conversion. They're just so smart in the red zone.
Yeah.
It's true. True. You see big bend don't break from these defenses right here. You know, been two of the better defenses in the league all year long. San Francisco they've had their struggles in recent weeks with the run, but I think they'll sure that thing up with 2 weeks to prepare, getting everybody healthy, ready to go. The 2 weeks of preparation always adds a little extra layer to this thing for me, especially when you got a guy like Andy Reid that has always had, so much success coming off a bye or going into games like this. So that does add a little extra layer to it. That's the only reason I have not bet my soul on San Francisco yet.
That it's Andy Reid and how good he is with the pre-snap motion and how San Francisco struggles with that. That's keeping me from betting on San Francisco and that big juicy plus 112 sitting there. But then I'm like, why are they putting that there? Are they putting that there because it's bait?
As you say, it feels like it's on a hook, don't it?
Yeah. How do you think the Niners run game is going to match up against Kansas City's front? They've been able to stop the run. I think they've been top 5 this year in the run. They might have been top 1, 2 if I might be mistaken, but definitely good against the run. But you got McCaffrey back there, so
I think if they put 5 down linemen like they did against Baltimore and force San Francisco to throw. Did you know Baltimore had 6 handoffs to running backs in that entire game?
Bro, it's disgusting.
6 plays where they turned around and handed it to the running back. I think maybe they try that with San Francisco and force Purdy to, like AK says, beat the man coverage.
Well, you saw Chris Jones really be a grown-ass man out there. This is why they wound up paying that man all that money. After they lost to Detroit that first game of the year, they were like, we got to pay that guy. Because, he's not going to – every week it's hard for him to go out there and do what he did last week every single week just because he's getting older. Your body does wear down. But that guy was balls to the wall every single play. Like, he'd come up limping. He'd come back next play, and he was ripping through that thing again. So that guy's the game wrecker he was last week against Baltimore and really puts Purdy under that pressure. But we saw Purdy make some plays with his legs last week, too. That was the difference in that game. Yeah. Let's just be honest. Purdy's legs and those key plays on those key third down situations, that was the difference in that game because it was able to sustain those drives, keep them going. They wound up getting points out of that thing, not giving it right back to Detroit. So he's going to have to do more of that this week because Chris Jones is a man on a mission, and he's going to be all over that boy if he starts to stay in that pocket.
Yep. Similar to Clowney, he doesn't have to get to the quarterback to make a difference. Just his pass rush alone disrupts enough in the backfield. Somebody told us last week to take Purdy rushing yards. It was the brilliant Crystal Ball Ari. And she's back on it this week. And I think the Chiefs with a strong pass rush like that begets rushing yards because this pocket collapses and you have to either take off or throw it away.
Do you know what I love about Brock Purdy? I love the demeanor. Like he always looks the same. Like he never like he's not throwing his helmet down. It seems like he doesn't get pissed off. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. Yeah, he has like a roommate still, I think. He still lives like in an apartment with a roommate or something. He didn't like move out and go all big league on his roommate and leave him high and dry. So
and he makes $875,000 a year, man. He is on that league minimum, so they're going to have to pay that boy. I know that.
Yeah. You could at least live on your own.
You get a nice apartment for $875,000 a year. I'm with you.
I wonder if he's an Army brat because he acts a lot like Aaron Jones, just a super respectful, down to earth dude.
It's a good trait.
I really like his demeanor. I think like it's even if you even want to, it translates into other things too. Like if you want to be a good sports handicapper, you have to keep the same demeanor, win, lose. You're not getting angry, throwing your helmet down. You're not, blaming the refs. You're I mean, like in sports betting, you have everyone saying it's a fixed game. And people make all kinds of excuses, get pissed off when they lose. I mean, there's so many like bad ways that you could handle it if you just keep a level head. That's the way to be. Really, that's the way to live your life.
It's all about mindset.
And just to
go ahead, Chris.
Just to answer Patriots' question, San Francisco played in Las Vegas January 1, 2022 at that stadium when it first opened, I believe.
Okay.
Overtime. Overtime win, 37-34.
Patriot and AK are absolutely going at it in the comments, calling each other's teams fraudulent.
Going back to Brock Purdy, I think his demeanor is probably what's got him to this point in his life, man. Being able to stay humble. He's always seems to be, a lot of these San Francisco guys do. It seems to be, maybe that's why they're talking about sitting Chase Young down, because maybe he's not got this mentality, but all those guys seem to be about the team, man. Every time you see an interview after a game, they're asking them about their performance, and they always defer to somebody else's performance and talk about how that performance was more important than theirs. And that, they got that team mentality, that brotherhood type mentality that I really think is a key to success in a game like football, or any sport for that matter. That's a team sport, to have that mentality to where it's not just about you, to where you got to have those other guys around you to be successful. And I think Brock Purdy is kind of the epitome of that.
There's a value in
exactly. I mean, it is true. And as we've seen already this year in football, like there's plenty of guys that want to be, the main guy, have all the spotlight on the team. And then they go out there and they don't even play one game.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not going to name any names here, but they don't even play one game and they're already injured, and they're trying to be like the big shot guy versus the 49ers. That's why they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
Brock Purdy,
he's like the anti-Caleb Williams.
Absolutely. Guy's going to be a bust.
He was 4 years starting at fucking Iowa State that just made that place a damn snake pit. Like he made that place hard to go to and play.
Those Cyclone
and
teams
that turns you into a professional.
Yeah, God bless.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if you draft your quarterback, if he was a 4-year starter at a decent school, I mean, that goes a long way. There's a lot you probably don't have to teach him.
I saw a lot of really bad quarterback play in the NFL this year when guys would get hurt. Hell, some of the guys were starters and they played really, really bad. So, 4 years at a major university like that, the experience you gain, the way you grow up and the maturity, I mean, I think there's definitely something to that.
Yeah. You go through those big games and those big pressure spots, like the Okie State Cowboys come into Ames. That's a big one. That's similar feel. You got.
Hey, can I just say that Oklahoma State rolled in there with Brandon Whedon at 7:00 on a fucking Thursday? Their bus broke down on the way. The women's basketball team plane wrecked that night. They did it. It was a 3-hour delay because of the broke down bus, and we lost in overtime by a goddamn field goal. I'm tired of hearing about that game.
Hell, what was that, like 2007? You're the only one brought it up. I forgot all that.
1793.
It's been a minute, bro. You said Brandon Whedon. I'm pretty sure he got grandkids now.
He might.
It feels like
he was 37 when he played.
That's true. He was.
That's true.
He was already old.
That's a good point. He was roughly 37 years old when he started. Dallas loves guys like that. Yep. If you look like you're not supposed to be here, they'll put you back there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's got that face. It's always the same. Jay Cutler had that face, except for it was like mental retardation. But Brock Purdy's got it, and he's just always like right here.
Yeah, Jay Cutler lacked motivation. He really didn't want to play football, and
Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's give a damn was busted, man. He just didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
That's all.
He did not give a damn.
They forgot to put the care in that one.
He's good on TV though. He is. Good on
good
TV.
TV.
I'll give him that. Yeah. And he wasn't.
I think Brock Purdy will be great on TV.
Care. I think Brock Purdy will be playing for a while.
Brock Purdy's a lot easier to like than Jay Cutler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Midway Jay.
Yeah, he's that kid down the street who you're glad your daughter is dating because he calls you sir.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Brock Purdy is.
If you could still smoke cigarettes on the sideline, Jay Cutler would have been smoking cigs on the sideline.
Oh, facts.
Absolutely.
Is that frowned upon heavy?
I mean,
they don't recommend
baseball. Like when Jim Leland, the managers, used to smoke in the dugout.
Oh, they all did.
Hell,
that was wild.
The Babe used to drink a 12-pack and like 3 cigars and then drop 4 bombs.
Yeah, no problem.
No
or
problem.
Josh Beckett.
It was worse than that. We used to sit on airplanes with every lady in there was smoking a Virginia Slim that was that long with 6 inches of ash. You're like, one turbulence that's fallen. We take the over and under on how long that ash is going to get. And every single grocery store at every aisle had an ashtray at every aisle. And
dude, it's wild that people smoke on planes.
Smoked down every aisle.
Wow.
That is wild.
That's wild to me.
I used to play
We
cards.
know.
I used to play cards with this old man, and they used to
Yeah.
let us smoke at the table. You know, this is 15
Yeah.
years ago or so. It was still accepted. Now they make you get up and walk away. But this old man would sit for 10, 12 hours at a time, and he never had one stop burning. He wasn't even smoking half the time. It was just burning like
It's
incense.
just burning. Yeah.
But you don't
Yeah.
say anything to him because he had more money than God. So it's like you just sit there and smell the smoke because he was going to keep dumping money into the game.
Kirk Cousins is Purdy like. Yeah. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that they came off the same assembly line.
Yeah, I like Brock Purdy way more than I like Kirk Cousins.
I do too. I think he makes way better decisions.
I just rather
Yeah.
hang out with Brock
Yeah.
Purdy more than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You like that? You like that?
I just like how disciplined Kirk Cousins is. I mean, he seems like a really, disciplined, level-headed kind of guy.
He seems like a youth pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. It puts
Yeah,
on
and he
chains
grills
every
with
once in a
tinfoil
while.
boats.
He 100% shops at Kohl's on Sunday afternoon, but if and goes to Bed Bath and Beyond if they have time.
And uses
I can't-
coupons.
They
That's
close.
right.
Bed Bath and Beyond
Yeah.
closed. They're online only.
Yeah, it's all
Are
Bath
they?
and Body Works now.
Oh,
took
Bath-
over
Sorry,
the market.
I don't know
That's-
why I know that, but
Bath and Body Works is still a thing.
You,
That's
yeah,
Oh,
your
yeah.
hair-
online.
you know what? Looking at that pretty haircut, I didn't even argue with you.
Yep.
It seemed like it made sense coming out of your mouth.
That's a
think I
can't
get-
miss gift certificate for the women
I
in your
order
life.
plugins, the into the wall, from there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
not hair. I was
Gotta have the
thinking-
room.
Good
smell
morning,
good.
Healthport.
You
What's
gotta
up,
give me a
bro?
guy.
Plug it in.
Smoking in
Smoking
doctor's
in doctor's
office.
yeah, that's right.
That's
Callie.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Callie's from
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Like they just got rid of smoking. That's
Yeah.
pretty new for them.
That's
I
what we
remember
realized.
looking at like vintage ads and seeing like doctors would actually promote smoking. Like they're
Maybe like
telling-
Yeah.
talking to their patient
It's
with a
good for
cigarette in their
people's
hand.
health. Yeah.
You can sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll listen to 1940s detective stories, like back when it was radio, like Mashy, and they leave the ads on them, and it's like 4 out of 5 doctors recommend Camel cigarettes. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, it was
Doctors
Wild
don't
Wild
recommend
West, dude.
cigarettes. That's
They
before we
didn't
knew.
know.
Yeah, it's before we knew.
They
cigarette smoke was
absolutely
the
knew.
population.
They just didn't have any fucking regulations on fucking lobbyists. They 100% knew.
Yeah, they do.
Goodness.
Yeah, I don't know how you
I
couldn't
feel
know.
like they still
They
don't
at
have
least knew it
regulations
wasn't good.
on lobbyists.
Well, I mean, the smoke part of it's not good, but nicotine is useful for some things, just
Our,
not
gov-
in
our
smoke
government
form.
hasn't been uncorrupted since 1776.1.
6. I was going to say,
I
as
wouldn't
soon as
know.
it started, man. Yeah, I was
Here's
gonna
my
say.
thing. I don't dig
July
into it
5th.
because I'm
Yeah.
not one of those people that is. I just feel like as one I know that I'll catch flack for this, but I'm only one person. I have one vote, and I can only do so much. So I just don't put too much time and effort into it because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to organize some movement myself, and I just don't have time to do it. So I just vote.
I don't know,
have my
bro.
vote, and I end it.
You're organizing a soccer movement like I've never seen. And that's
Yep.
pretty phenomenal because you're in America.
You can't organize a movement with an attitude like that, Steps. If you don't,
I'll
believe it,
never
why should
have the
anybody else,
attitude to
man?
organize any political movement ever.
Yeah,
So
me
But a
either, man.
you'll
sports
never get that
betting
out of
movement,
me.
a sports betting movement, he's
Yeah,
all in.
I'm all
taking
in
the
there.
steps. There's so many things. Like your name is
Taking the
Steps. You can
step.
lead protests, no problem.
I'm
Oh,
good.
bro. Yeah,
I'm
we might have
good.
to do this for you, Steps.
I'm good.
I like it, man. I'm just pulling for
No.
all of us, man. I don't get all that political shit because I'm pulling for all of us. I don't care who winds up at the top. Just do the right job. Just get
I've got
get it
Chris.
good for
Chris
all
can
of us.
fill me in on everything I need to know. Patriots and petticoats. I can tune in there, and I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Chris knows. He knows where I was whenever I started all this, and there's a lot of common ground we've found. I've never leaned too far either way, but he's opened my eyes up to be, listen to other people's thoughts. And Chris says some crazy ass shit. I think Chris knows he says some crazy ass shit.
I troll people on
But
Twitter.
I know exactly. I know when to take him serious and when not to take him serious. And he's
Mm-hmm.
definitely involved in everything. So I do, appreciate the fact that he has opened my eyes up to a different perspective.
I'll
But
tell you this much.
he'll
Steph,
never get me to
and
vote
you-
for Trump. So that'll
me and
never
you
happen.
Me and you are a lot the same. Me and the masses, all of us are a lot the same. It's just that some goalposts have been moved lately,
Yep.
and all of us are looking at each other like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Why is my
And
party
what
all
we-
the way down there?
Yeah, and what we have now, what we have left is bet online and sharp money to follow because
right.
these motherfuckers have gone crazy. but we will smoke the spread while they figure the shit out on top. We'll just stay smoking the spread.
And they'll
Speaking
tax the
of
shit out of us.
people figuring things out on top, what did you think about the new time change? The commissioner's new time change for the press conference.
What
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? It got moved to a Monday instead of Friday.
What are we talking about? We're talking sports or politics now. I have no idea.
Sports.
Sports. Goodell?
What? So what do we? I don't know. What sport? What commissioner? What press conference? Y'all got to fill me in. I don't know what's going on.
So before the Super Bowl, he moved
Roger
it to
Goodell?
Monday.
Oh, okay. We're talking.
Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Oh,
What is the
Okay.
reasoning behind it?
Yeah, what's this mean?
well, it's really interesting. He really only invited like reporters that he likes, and
He's
Him
trying
and
it's
to
only
John
like
control
Goodell.
things.
so. I mean, like if you're playing in the NFL, you have to speak to everyone, like all the press. But he's really kind of picking and choosing who he wants here, changing the time. I mean, it's just weird. Like
That's
I
bullshit.
don't like it,
Okay.
and I think like if a player was going to say like, no, I don't want to talk to like all these news reporters. I only want to talk to like these three that I like here. I mean, that would be. I mean, they would
not
lose
fair
their
and balanced.
job. I mean,
Well,
they would be
here's the
taken
thing,
off
Ari.
the team.
Here's the thing, Ari. You don't let much upset you. So the fact that you're upset about
Mm-hmm.
this, I'm pissed off too. Hell with it. I'm
I'm
not
upset.
even
Yeah.
Fuck them.
watching. I'm not watching.
Yep.
I'm going to go like more in detail on this in my morning email.
Okay.
So make sure to stay tuned at ariocalista.com and sign up if you haven't already. In the stay in touch box, add your email. I'm going to go a little more in depth with it and just kind of like why it bothers me. So that's some of the sports information rants that I go on.
I like how you left that
And-
cliffhanger out there. I'm very intrigued. Well, we'll be looking for this.
Yeah, so make sure to sign up. But we'll also have all the games and the line movements and good plays. So and a new
Yeah.
picture of me. So tons of good information.
Yep.
But also I got a little ranty about the sports news too. And I'm
Y'all
this
gotta
is just
check
one of
out-
those weird things. And it's like, players can't determine who, they can't say like we're not talking to all these reporters and stuff. But
Exactly.
hey, if you're the commissioner and you're making hundreds of millions of dollars, I guess you could.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
makes
y'all
an
man,
obscene
sign up
amount
for
of
that
money.
email. All you gotta do, go to ariocalista.com, sign up in that stay in touch box, man. You get all kinds of good info in that thing.
Easy.
And apparently now we get her opinions on this stuff too. That's
Yep.
very intriguing to me.
Yep. It's so easy.
Yeah.
I did it while she was talking about how to do it. By the time
Yeah.
she was done explaining what the email was, I was already signed up.
Yeah, it's very
Speaking
simple,
of,
man. It's right there in front of you. You go over there, go on our website, man. It's right there. Stay in touch. Put your email in, set it, forget it, man. You get that thing every morning.
Done and done. Winners
Absolutely.
every single day. Speaking of Roger Goodell,
ARIEL, yeah, ARIELCALISTA.com.
done
you go.
and done. I have times Roger Goodell is shown on screen under 1.5 plus 120 because we don't like him. Normally they show him once in the beginning and that's it. I
can't
love
stand
rooting against Roger Goodell, so it's a fun
Absolutely.
bet for me.
Easy guy to root against.
A couple other ones I sprinkled on just for fun. Touchdown overturned by replay. I think the refs, there are two refs, field judge Tom Hill and line judge Mark Perlman, both retiring after this game. So I think some of the refs maybe want to get a little camera time. Also a roughing penalty plus 110. Anytime you got Patrick Mahomes, you got a good shot at a roughing penalty. And Flay Flicker plus 185. That's just fun.
Eric, have you been like staked out outside of these referees' homes, just tracking their every movement all week, seeing what they're buying at the grocery store,
Yeah.
seeing what they're picking up at the gas station, what time
Yeah.
they're going to bed, when are lights out? Are they late
Patrick
sleeper?
Patrick Holt is an Activia guy. Bill Vinovich, more of a Chobani drinkable yogurt guy.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that plays yet, but it's involved.
Did we see any booze leave in the cart? Maybe we've got an alcoholic judge or
They get together for a dinner the night before the Super Bowl. So I need to
Uh-oh.
find out who who likes to tip one back. Maybe that guy,
Yeah.
maybe the line judge is going to miss a call or two.
maybe we can eliminate the referee we don't like the most. Do we have an alternate ref we like? So maybe we can figure out where they're eating at, maybe slip a little bit of green in the
Ooh.
pocket of a waitress or waiter, get some
Oh, I was-
some laxatives slipped in there or something, maybe
See,
they're
that's
not
where my
available
mind
for the
went.
next day.
Few media in time on Monday, only by invite. Yeah, great point, Chuck. That sounds like Russia. Any new line moves you've been on? Are these basketball games moving at all?
Yeah,
Super Bowl?
actually, there is a lot of money showing up on the Purdue Wisconsin under.
Uh-oh.
And Las Vegas is following it. So I'm just watching and waiting on this. Yeah, this is definitely a game to follow for the under in this game.
Okay.
We love Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know that we historically don't score a ton of points, so the under makes a lot of sense. This
I
team
just bet
is.
it. I'm on. Y'all
It
convinced
sure
me. Man.
does.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't need much more convincing than that.
Nope. I probably won't even watch it. I'll just count my money later.
Big Ten football and Big Ten basketball, they just move at a slower pace than some of the other conferences.
True. That's
Man,
weird.
you up 3-0 heavy.
Just take all my money at 10:45 in the morning. It's gonna be great.
Well, maybe that's why you should have been betting on menu.
Hey, here's the deal. Ari's going to hook you right back up this afternoon, so it's not a big deal. We're going to get you back in the money, get you back on track.
Yeah,
been
make sure to
crushing them
join
too,
my
Steph.
free email.
Yeah,
you
TikTok hasn't even come out yet. You're fine.
Yeah,
you're
that's
good to
true.
go.
TikTok, all of my plays right before the game. There's so many comments coming in. I love what everyone's writing.
There is.
Health court, you had your workout infrared sauna. That's cool. I do infrared saunas every day. Like I love my infrared
is
saunas.
that?
What is that? What is that?
Something heat
Infrared.
shock proteins.
Something Jeff Bezos came up with?
No, this is actually really cool. It's energy. It comes from an electromagnetic spectrum. So really it's just like it's a band of light, really. It's just a little bit beyond red and infrared spectrum. I have a far infrared sauna and I have a full spectrum infrared sauna. And I love using them every day. My jewelry here, this is all the clear beads in here. My company has a technology where we could make all the clear glass and crystal beads. And I mean, even diamonds if we wanted to, like far infrared emissive. So I love it. It's a great health benefit. I love seeing all the comments in here.
Yeah, you're like a mystic, man. You're using alien technology and stuff. I like.
So you're getting X amount of energy from this necklace that you would from the infrared sauna?
Yeah, especially because it's really like warm. Like my body heat is producing a lot of thermal energy right now. So it's still giving me the same benefits as like if I was sitting in a sauna, the full benefits of like a cardiovascular workout. And just like, if you have like problems like arthritis or something, like you could put on some bracelets and they're great for you. It's wearable health technology.
Ari wrote the book, literally.
Yeah,
some people say
I have a
Ari
book
wrote
right
the
here.
book, like this person knows a lot about the subject. No, Ari actually wrote the book.
Yeah, I actually do have like all of the different like scientific notations in the back here. So you could look all of the science up yourself. I mean, like I have all the science in there, the studies that you could go read up on. Because this truly is backed by science. It was invented by NASA because when they were sending astronauts into space, like they had no way of getting a workout in. Their muscles were, shrinking because they're in space, atrophying. And they said, like, how are we going to keep our astronauts healthy while they're in like these long space missions? And it was far infrared. And that's really what gives them the benefit of a full cardiovascular workout. So it's great. There's a lot of health benefits. It's like really detoxifying and it's great for your skin health. I used to have like a lot of acne, so I've been using it on my acne and it's just like completely gone away. So yeah, I love far infrared. I could talk about it all day.
Chuck is a big proponent too. He says they're using it on all the locker rooms. Biggest new tech out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My friend Jude, who I talked about in yesterday's podcast, he is a top 25 Nike trainer. We're good friends. We're good business partners in a lot of things. He's on the anti-doping committee for the Olympics. He is also an Olympic trainer. He has 2 infrared saunas like in each of his homes, and he loves far infrared. He uses it with all of his athletes. He's a huge proponent of it, and a lot of people, the way I first got into the saunas, like beyond just the jewelry, was really like at the MLB conferences when my company was there representing.
What's the name of the book again? We got people.
It's called Yeah, it's called Infrared Illuminated, a user's guide to the science of far infrared energy. And you could find it on Amazon. You could get the free ebook at my website, SoulRay. It's soul-ray.com. And like ray, like a sun ray, and RAY. But all of that's also on my website, arielcalista.com. The link's right there. So make sure to check it out. You could get my free ebook. But it's been selling really well. Actually, I just had a repeat order from one of my clients and they doubled their order. So it's really great. It's been selling out amazingly.
So Cricket, you need to replace that necklace you got on with some of the infrared.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already wearing it. You might as well replace it so you can at least get some benefits from it.
Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm sold. I got to give me some of these infrared crystals or
is there like is there brace like as a guy, like how can a guy accessorize with this technology?
You start without using the goddamn word accessorize.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah.
I work in retail, and that is the term. It's called accessories, and that is
you
where
got to dip in just in time to yell
earrings,
at you for using
that's where you wear necklaces, rings,
well,
bracelets,
I mean, think about here, like in baseball, like all of the guys are wearing like beaded necklaces. I see it all the time now. So it's really just like a necklace, but with like your team colors. I can make it, with your team's name on it. I mean, really, whatever you want. So
make it very fashionable right there.
Exactly.
Ari, do you agree with me that the term is accessorize? It is an accessory.
It is an accessory, but I like to call it wearable health technology because that's really what it is.
Yeah, that sounded way better than what you said, Steps.
It's a health technology. There's other health technologies out there. There's other companies making far infrared emissive nano ceramic tiles that you wrap around in like bandages that people are using for like wounds and things like that. And there's great studies being done in Germany with far infrared emissive water. There's a lot out there, and we could definitely do a deep dive on this sometime. I am going to be publishing like a second edition of my book. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And I'm also trying to map out some like far infrared places that are truly helping the community and teaching the community. And I want to feature them in my book.
Hey, I appreciate you giving me a phrase to use rather than sticking a big old fat dip of snuff in my mouth and going, y'all got any of them accessories with the infrared in it?
Yeah. Wearable health technology.
I like health technology. Yeah.
I like the idea of a superpowered necklace.
Give me that superpowered necklace because the betting Avengers are in the house.
See, there's a fashion aspect to it. So that is why I think that Ari found a good middle ground there.
I'm not going to argue with that haircut.
Sports.
Number one,
nope.
I wouldn't argue. No. I'm not comfortable saying the word accessory in public when speaking of something I'm going to wear.
No,
it looks weird coming from you.
No, it's wearable health technology now.
Wearable health technology. Yeah, if you need more convincing, we got an epigenicist who graduated from the University of Wisconsin. Saying you're right on target.
Who graduated from Wisconsin? Hellport? Are you a Badger?
I believe so. I believe I saw that earlier in content.
Shut the front door. Look at you. I'm so proud of you working on things.
Hey, I really did think about that last night. I'm taking a real stand on my cursing.
I think you're doing a fine job. Don't lose your authenticity, man. Don't lose your authenticity. Just don't say 7 F-bombs in 2 sentences.
Man,
there you go.
My kids are gonna appreciate this too.
Minnesota bird hunter. What do you got there? You got a German short hair pointer. You got a Labrador. You got a Chesapeake Bay Retriever. What you working with there? He says, sign up for the email. Great point. That's the best advice we can really give you here. Is sign up for the email.
Yeah, I would love if you guys signed up for my email and Healthport. I would love to connect with you later about far infrared saunas if you have any questions. And feel free to reach out to me. I mean, replying to my emails is the fastest, easiest way to just reach out to me, ask me any questions. It's not like I have a team of people like replying to my emails for me. It's really me, like at the other end of the email, and I'm happy to sit there and reply back to your questions and help you read the emails better and really just ask any answer any other questions that you guys have, because I mean, what we're building here is a community, and it's peer driven, and part of building a community is, you know, all being there for each other.
Authenticity.
Just so everybody knows, we've known Ari now for a year. She did the Super Bowl party with show with us last year. Before we ever brought her on Wake and Rake, I followed her emails for about 3 weeks. Now she bets it every day, so it's not like I got 2 games of a data points. You know, I followed her for a while, and she's the real deal. We didn't just bring her on like because she's cute on TikTok. That's not what this. We peeled this onion back before we actually brought her into the show. And she's the real deal. It's no bullshit. When she says 50% ROI, she just means a 50% ROI. She's not bullshitting. She's not exaggerating. She's being honest.
And you've got the volume to see it now.
Yeah. I mean, I leave all of my videos up on TikTok. It's not like I ever go delete a video because I had a bad day. I mean, bad days happen to everyone. You're going to win a lot, but you're not going to win everything, and no one can win everything all the time. And, you know, I keep myself accountable by having all my plays up, my emails are going out, and really, like, even though I say a 50% ROI and it's unbelievable to a lot of people, the fact is you could go track it yourself. Just go look back at all the games and actually add it up.
That's what because I've told a couple people about you this week, and I'm like, I don't want it to seem like I'm hawking a service here or something.
It sounds
or
unreal.
Bullshit. I'm like,
when we say it.
What? I just say, go look at the videos and cross-reference it with that day's game box scores and make your own decisions. Like, I can lead you to the water. I can't force you to drink. But
exactly.
Wise woman once told me, the losers justify the winners.
Yeah, the losers do justify the winners, and everything is free. I mean, following me is free. The morning email is free. It's just free information to help you make better wagering decisions. That's all it is.
And
there are people out there with information half as good, 5% as good as her information out there, calling them triple diamond gold dip plays and charging you $100 a month.
I mean, a lot of these services, people are charging some people $10,000 a week. I mean, these services are outrageous. And the reason I don't sell my picks is because, you know, like I know what really goes on inside of these services. Like, I've been in this industry long enough to really know like what goes on, and, you know, like it's free at the end of the day, but I am planning on expanding and even offering more and more picks for people who want to dive in a little bit deeper. So that will be coming up soon too.
Well, the biggest thing in this business too, in the sports handicap, is the transparency. You know, you talk about not deleting those videos. You have a bad day. You're going to have bad days. That's part of it. It's a roller coaster ride, a lot of peaks and valleys in this thing. But the biggest thing is the transparency, because I always like to follow handicappers that I know are going to give me that, because then I can see it. I understand it's not going to be all good days. So if I go to somebody's page and all they've got is the winners up there, I know that's somewhere I want to go away from. I like to have the 100% transparency, because you're selling an opinion, and you know you want to show that nobody can be right all the time in this stuff. So
and there's some people out there who claim that they're the best sports handicappers on planet. But I mean, the thing is like, you need to actually look closely. Like, sometimes it's amazing. Like, you see someone's winning ticket and you just see the number at the bottom, which is like, oh, I made $35,000 on this bet today. But then when you actually look at the bet and you look at the odds that they're playing, it's like, okay, so you played you played a minus 300 money line.
Yeah,
like,
congratulations.
And, I mean,
you're chasing too.
That is really not a good profitable thing over time if you're betting these crazy odds, because the truth is like, even though money lines like could win 7 out of 10 times, the 3 times that you do lose, it's going to wipe out your entire winners because the odds are so bad. Yeah. So that's why you need to keep track of your ROI. You could win 7 out of 10 times and still be a loser at the end of the day.
Exactly. I don't like to go above minus 130. I don't.
Chuck with a ring endorsement. I don't know what more you need to hear other than this. I've been a pro in Vegas for almost 40 years. Seen them all come and go. Ariel in the sports book is over the top.
You're better off you'd be better off paying for someone to teach you how to just read the lines and follow the books and line shop and how to be a responsible bettor than versus actually paying for someone to give you picks, because most of the time, like you guys are saying, they're giving you these crazy ass odds, or you're chasing a line that they got yesterday and now you're juicing it up because you don't want to play at a point or a hook behind them. So I think that there's a lot of good content that's free. Find a show like this one that you can watch every week and you can learn something from, and you can take little pieces from everybody here to apply to what you're doing, and then kind of come up with a system that you can kind of create on your own, where you can look into a game and make a bet and feel confident in it and kind of grow from there. It's easy to find that for free online.
Yes.
And it's wild that these people are charged. Like, if you're paying up $250 a month for somebody's picks, you're already $250 in the hole. Like, you better be
charge $100 every 3 days and stuff.
Yeah, you better be like $1,000 unit per better or something. Like,
that's
how
the
you gonna
thing.
make that money back?
It promotes irresponsible habits because you're having to bet so much just to pay for this stupid service.
And let's be honest, guys, there's so many people that are given the picks, and even if you do have the best guy giving you the picks at the other end of the phone, I've seen this over and over and over with people who even, have joined my community here on TikTok and from Rumble. I see it over and over and over again. I give them winning plays. Everyone who's been following me could have the same ROIs that I have, but they'll still find a way to screw it up before they put the bet in. They'll play a parlay with 10 other legs or something. I mean, so then the blame goes around, and that's why I haven't charged for my picks on TikTok. I put it all out there for free because, I don't want to get blamed for you screwing up the bet. Even when I'm giving you the winners, but like I said, they don't always hit. But I do have a 47% ROI in the NFL, and that's no joke. That's double what everyone in Las Vegas has.
That's a preposterous number.
Yeah, it's double the best handicapper in Las Vegas' ROI right now, and I'm not selling my picks.
And Eric talked about kind of some of these handicappers promoting bad gambling habits. A lot of them do. A lot of times you can get yourself in some real trouble here when you wind up, let's be real. A lot of these handicappers have bankrolls that are set that a lot of people, the average person, doesn't have available to them yet. So you got to make sure you're following your unit size. So make sure you're paying attention to those things. You can't be betting the same things that some of these people are betting at the same price, because it could get you in trouble in a hurry. And that's when you see people dip back into that pocketbook, wind up depositing more money. We don't want to have to deposit. We want to deposit one time. We want to take their free money with that deposit match and go ahead and run with that. We don't want to have to deposit after that. We're building this thing slow over time. So, yeah, Eric, you're right. Some of these handicappers do promote bad gambling habits just the way they do it, because it can't be the same for everybody.
Hey, Cricket, and real quick before we move on, Minnesota Bird Hunter, it doesn't have TikTok and such. I believe Ari's starting to use Instagram too, but also this show right here has always been Sunday morning. But this show after the Super Bowl is changing to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central. And then Sunday mornings, same time. We're gonna rebrand it called Smoke the Spreads. So you'll be able to get it here on Rumble. Yeah.
Taking the book
right here on Rumble, and Ari will be doing it, and we'll be rocking it. It'll be life changing if you listen and follow how we're doing it.
We're gonna take the books. We're gonna rip all the pages out and roll them up.
That's right.
Yeah. And like you said, I just started a new Instagram account. It's really slow compared to TikTok, I feel like, when it comes to being pushed along in an algorithm. So I'd love if you guys gave me a follow at Ari Betts with a BETS, not like a Z. Ari Betts.
Nice.
702. 702, that's a Vegas area code. So Ari Betts 702. I post my videos on TikTok and on Instagram. I just like TikTok a little bit better sometimes because I could only post a 1.5-minute video on Instagram, and TikTok lets you post longer videos. But I will be posting on this new platform that all of my free picks as well. It'll be the same video as my TikTok and Instagram video. So once that's all set up, I will absolutely get you the information in my free morning email.
Beautiful.
Hey, fun story about the 702. That'd be Clark County, right, Ari? I've been married there and divorced there.
Married and divorced. Same trip or a different trip?
Well, the marriage That was a 2 a.m. I had a Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 8 shirt with butt like
a little
all the way
puke
down it.
accessories.
Oh yeah,
Raise hell, praise Dale, baby.
That's right. And my ex-wife had puke all down her green shirt. And we got married at the Elvis Chapel. Actually, we went in there for some reason at 2 a.m. You can go into the Clark County government building, and they'll give you a fucking marriage license. And when you come out, there'll be limo drivers fighting to take you to their chapel. And you could be hammered drunk and get married, and they will still sign that shit. But you can't get it done nulled pretty quick later, which
I'm sure a lot of people have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas has some good laws.
They figured out real quick. There's a lot of people committing to things they didn't really want to commit to out there.
Yeah,
they got me for the whole package too. I got dinner plates with our faces on. Oh, ridiculous.
Man, you still got those probably in a box somewhere, huh?
That's right.
That's right. He said, shh, don't tell nobody.
Somewhere. Somewhere. Anyways, 702. Great area code. Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we are 702.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Yeah, it was I got married, then divorced, then married in Vegas, then divorced, then married and divorced. Now married.
Man, sounds like you need to write a book.
Yeah. Don't write a book on marriage, though.
No.
Anyway.
What else we got,
boys and girls? Place to get married in. A lot of people are always there.
What are you on today, Cricket?
I've really started watching more basketball. I probably watched more college basketball yesterday than I've watched all year long combined so far, just because we're so out of everything football. And so I'm really just kind of monitoring for the next few days. I'm riding Ari's picks, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm riding Ari's picks. Steps throws me a few gems here and there. Until I'm able to monitor it a little bit, I don't want to really put too much out there because I have not had the time to put into it yet with everything going on in football. But I am diving into it more now that we've winded down with all that. So I'm probably just going to ride with them today.
I like it. That's what I'm doing. I'll end up getting in there live betting some bullshit, but
no, I may do that. I'll start watching a few games, and I may try to find some spots in game there where I can make something happen. Get a little feel for it, be able to watch some of how the momentum's going early on. But as far as pre-game bets today, I'm just going to roll with their stuff.
Yeah. Should I run down my place for today?
Absolutely.
Hells yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're here for, girl.
All right, perfect. I like the Purdue Wisconsin under. Las Vegas is following the money here. This is going to be an exciting game. Also, I like the Davidson versus Loyola game. The over it's trending over on level 1 money. So just a refresher for everyone. Money has to reach a certain threshold. It has to reach a certain threshold of my parameters that I use before it even reaches level 1 significance. And then I grade it from level 1 to level 5. So there's level 1 money on the over. It is interesting. I'm keeping my eye on this. In NBA, there are some great plays here today. The Suns, it opened up at -8. It's pushed out to -11 on level 2 pro money. So this is really interesting. I'd say play this. This is going to be like my play today.
Suns -11.
-11. The total here, it opened up at 244. It's moved down to 237.5 on the under with level 5 money on the under. So there's a lot of money flowing in on the under here. Really, it hasn't differentiated itself as pro or square yet. It seems like a lot of mixed money, but Las Vegas is agreeing with the money flow and they're pushing a total lower in this game. And in the Pacers versus Hornets game, Indiana opened up at -8. It has since pushed out to -9.5 on level 3 pro money.
I got all that.
Yeah, I got
and the under is starting to trend too. This is something I'd keep my eye on.
I got 238.5 in the Suns Wizards game, and I got 236.5 in the Pacers Hornets.
Nice.
And what about Purdue, Wisconsin? You still looking at? Are we still good there?
Yeah,
under
we're still
144.
145.5 is what I got it.
Yeah.
Did they already move it?
This book that rhymes with Movada is not the best as far as line value.
Yeah, that's true too. Chuck, to answer your question about the golf yesterday, it went all right. I didn't dive too much into this one this week, man. I haven't, once again, haven't had a lot of time. I love when the majors start having the Masters rolls around. I dive a lot more into it then, but I haven't got to pay enough attention yet. So I just put a few little sprinkles in for winners. I think I got Scheffler at plus 1,200, but it didn't really go my way yesterday. I don't think I have anybody with a real chance to win. It's supposed to be some bad weather out there today. Wyndham Clark went off, shot a course record 60. So I mean that was pretty impressive there. And so I got Scotty Scheffler still sitting there at minus 13, but we'll have to see. I guess I do have Scheffler still alive. So we got a little sweat today anyway. That's all we can ever ask for. I didn't put too much into it though. So
we're about to start flexing the golf muscles over here, get Plus Money Golf going again, get the pro and the caddy, Adam and Smitty.
Oh, let's go, baby.
These
guys are so much fun.
We've
There's
had
not much more fun than betting golf, man.
them.
It's fun.
Yeah, the odds are my favorite. You get
I think what I like, man. I like the little 3 balls, the little round where you got 3 guys and you pick the winner out of the 3 guys, the little 3-ball wagers. I like those a lot, man. Those are a lot of fun. I don't really mess with the 6 shooters because it's too up in the air, man. When you got that many guys, you got 6 guys.
Adam's gonna yell at you.
He might, man. He can teach me, man.
You can't get outside the system, Cricket.
Yeah,
but hey, teach me the system. I don't know it yet. I'm new to this. Teach me the system, Adam. I'm listening, sir.
Yep. He'll be like, I don't think the winner is going to be in the final pairing. I'm like, okay, let's do that. I'm not sure what all that means, but over the course of a golf season, you learn. And then now I got favorite golfers. Now I'm actually watching Saturday and Sunday. I get into it a little bit.
I become such a huge fan of golfers. Like I love the sideshow action and stuff in golf, and the way these guys, the mentality it takes. In my opinion, golf is the hardest game on the planet, just by the pressure factor and the amount of money these guys are playing for week in and week out. It's just impressive to me to see what some of these guys do. Because if you had all them people standing around me when I was hitting my tee shot, you better dive in the clubhouse when I let go of that thing.
I'm hitting.
Hey, man, these are my favorite press conferences because it's not a team sport, right? So it's not like, oh, my team was awesome today, blah, 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 blah. It's all individual like UFC. Those are the best press conferences because you get the most fucking shade thrown. And it's good stuff.
You see a lot of life-changing stories in golf, man. You see a lot of guys, what was it, Michael? Was it Block? Yeah, Block. Like that was. I became such a huge fan of that guy throughout the course of that week. Right, it's just a lot of fun. You see that happen a lot in golf. People kind of lifetime achievements, stuff that people have been working toward their whole life, and it finally all comes together in 4 days. There, it's just pretty cool to see a lot of times.
Yeah, I love getting down on some golf. Plus, some of these events like the Waste Management, the John Deere, they're just fun. And the more you learn about the golfers, they're really interesting people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love that little show on Netflix that they got with all the golfers where they follow around like Brooks Koepka and, Spieth and Justin Thomas. That's a cool show, man.
Hey, John Daly is my guy, Chuck. Like that's guy, our dude. Like that's our people right there. That's the guy that could sit down at the my dining room table and fit right in.
Speaking of on the field, I got spot. He would drink a 6-pack too, ready to go. John Daly.
Yeah. He'd have 12
Dude, he drinks like
30
20
smokes.
He drinks like 20 Diet Cokes a day. He doesn't drink water.
Pounding long darts the whole time.
No water. Fuck water.
He doesn't drink water. He doesn't. He drinks Diet Coke. I swear.
He'll probably outlive all of us.
Diet Coke and lung darts.
Straight diuretics and cigarettes. That's it.
Same thing as my old man. The dude just pounds lung darts all day. Never gonna die like that.
Step up there and hit a golf ball 400 yards.
It's wild.
Yeah. I mean, he's a freak of nature. He defies all science and physics. And now he's got a kid who swings a club just like him. Shot a 46 on just 9 yesterday. Not bad. Winter rules, soggy. Yeah. Man. Up here, I'm gonna share.
I'm more of a top golfer. I can't get out on the course. I'd embarrass myself.
Yeah. I'm more of a top golfer too. I like to be able to drink mimosas when I'm playing and stuff.
Yeah,
mimosas are accessories. I don't know which ones.
I say whatever, man. I say mimosas because we went to Top Golf. We did a little trip for the birthday last month, man. And my old lady orders a bucket of mimosas. She's like, "You want to try them?" Came out like pineapple juice, cranberry juice, and everything. I was like, "Sure, I'll try it." Took a drink. I said, "We better order another bucket of those, man. Those are delicious."
All that shit.
I'd be a good mimosa drunk by about 4 p.m. that day.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, maybe the Diet Coke has taken a toll.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, I'll stick with bubbly water. Also, Red Bull, I'm listening because Celsius too much of a diuretic. We can't take 3 breaks per show. I need to talk
What'd
to
that
Red
say
Bull
he was
about
battling?
some endorsements.
It says bladder cancer. I did not know that was going on, man. That's kind of a big deal. It says pretty bad. I did not know that, man. I hate to hear that.
Prayers up for John Daly, Arkansas legend. He'll beat that just like he beat Tiger Woods in the father-son tournament.
Yeah, good vibes his way, man.
I can drive a damn golf ball. What else we want to talk about today? I'm looking at the books here. We got
Heavy. What do you got on this 49ers game? I know you already got it bet. You are the early line better. That's what I call
He
you.
actually has it. He hasn't
He's
bet
taking
yet,
no Super Bowl bets yet. We need to
No
check his
action yet.
temperature.
I know.
Well, which way you leaning, sir?
Yeah.
Did they cut
49ers.
your balls off
Yeah.
too, or just the hair?
Just
Got him.
Here's the thing is the Super Bowl is just it's one of those things where okay, so props. I typically like to look at the props first, but every freaking time I look at the props, the line's moved further than I like it.
Yep.
And
So
it's
go the other
moving
way.
in the direction I don't like it. Then I'm fading myself. I just want to, be confident in the pick that I'm going to play and enjoy my Super Bowl Sunday. I will be like Eric. It's the one day out of the year where you got to get a little crazy just to have a little bit of fun.
Hell yes.
Most of my money will be placed on probably just a solid bet, either on a side or a total. And then I'll throw a little bit of money around just on some of those fun prop parlays. Not sure I'll do any halftime stuff, but might do like the national anthem, coin
Whatever.
toss, stuff like that. Yeah.
You're gonna be with us.
My research
True,
is showing
cricket.
Boyfriend 11-1 is the likely opening song.
Hey, Steps is going to come up for the Super Bowl party at Buku's, man.
Yep.
He's going to be up there with us. You will be betting at halftime, sir. 'Cause there's no way you'll be able to see all us putting our bets in at halftime and not be able to do it. You ain't that much of a Prius, man.
No, that's when the Tesla comes out.
That's
of the
where the
garage.
Tesla comes out, baby.
I am a lemming, so I will follow.
Panera lemonade is better than their cinnamon rolls.
Lemonade at Panera is the only thing that they have that's good.
Dude, fuck excuse my language.
I don't mess
but-
with no, he said, excuse me.
Whoa.
Look at all us working on
Whoa.
ourselves, man. We're all working on ourselves.
Whoa. We are.
Panera is
We're all-
garbage, man. Panera is so overpriced. Well, everything in
It is.
this
It is
day and age is
garbage.
overpriced, but like I'm a big guy. I need to eat. Don't give me your little half sandwich and your bowl of soup with an apple for $15. I'll go to
Yeah,
McDonald's
that's
and just
bullshit.
stuff my face for $7. And that's why America's
I'll go to
fat, ladies and
Western
gentlemen.
Sizzling. I'll go to Western
Western
Sizzling.
sizzling.
I'll go
eat
to West.
microwave
Give it to me.
shrimp.
I
don't give a
will.
shit.
Golden Corral.
Microwave shrimp.
I won't
Oh
eat.
my
I
God.
won't even eat that. I won't even get
Microwave
that.
shrimp. Man, that'll make
They
I'll
bring
eat
it out
microwave
bucket.
shrimp from Bangladesh. I don't give a fuck. Like, you got to pay attention to what water that shrimp's coming out of.
I'm just saying, man.
$15 for a half a sandwich? No. No,
I don't trust
you
any
ain't got no
shrimp that I
soft
can
serve or
microwave.
gummy bears.
Yeah, I can't trust.
I'd
the
rather
shrimp
go
I
to
got
like
microwave.
Corner Bakery. That's a little bit more comparable to Panera, I think. I think it's a little bit better. So, not a big fan of Panera if you can't tell.
I think what we learned today
I do wanna-
Fred is going to run the damn gamut of topics.
I do want to try their lemonade now, though. With all
Yeah,
my
I actually am
personality.
intrigued on the lemonade.
Phenomenal lemonade. It's good lemonade. All right.
Do you want to know what?
But it's also scary because like people are dying because of too much energy.
People are
But,
dying because of
you
too much
know-
energy.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe I'll just stick with my coffee.
you go.
I like
Hell,
the
exactly.
coffee.
The best lemonade that I have ever had is the strawberry lemonade from Sbarro Pizza in the mall. They have the best lemonade. So next time you're in the mall, stop by Sbarro. They're pretty much in like every mall. Don't get the pizza, just get that strawberry lemonade.
Yeah,
Steps.
Sabar pizza's not great.
Steps approaches
killing
food the way
people with
Eric
energy
approaches prop
bursts.
bets, man. He
Yes,
finds
you're-
all the
I-
little gems in
dude.
there.
I'm like a freaking mechanic. You know what I'm saying? I can just take any pieces, any parts, make it work. And I am also a surgeon. I will slice and dice to find the little parts and pieces of the food industry that no one else is able to travel to, that edge of the world.
That's
This is the
You're a
variety you get
secret
on
menu
the
guy. You know all the
Yes.
secret menu.
No,
You
dude.
and Coach need to show together to just bounce food off.
The first thing I ask if I go to like a kind of a foo-foo restaurant, you know what I'm saying, where it's like a little off the beaten path, not a lot of people go there. They have weird food and stuff like that. I always ask if there's a chef menu because a chef loves to hear, oh, make whatever, be creative. and they'll make you some good ass shit. You're gonna pay a little bit more, but they're gonna get creative. You're gonna pay a little bit more money, but you're gonna get a good experience. So always ask if there's a chef menu.
That's how I
that's
know
a good
you're
idea.
sharp on food. I don't know. I've never been anywhere in my life and asked for the chef's menu.
Ask for the
Number
chef's
one,
menu.
I just fucking looked up, like Chuck said, look it up. So I did. They put fucking caffeine in lemonade. I did not know that. I thought that was uncaffeinated. That's why I get it for the kids.
Chris,
And motherfuckers are dying in Panera Bread.
Well, we were working on our language, but
Oh, did I just jack that up? I didn't even know.
I
Chris,
love
if
that you don't
anybody
even
would know
I love
that
that.
they,
I just want to say, don't
I
lose
didn't
your
know-
authenticity because we know it's just you, man. It's cool. We
I
love
didn't
it.
even hear myself say it.
you're like
Okay,
blind.
I am
to
working on
that.
it.
You're
I am.
usually on top of shit like that, where like they try to sneak shit in on you. You
Yeah,
didn't know
you
that
usually
there's
know these
caffeine
things.
in lemonade.
I had no idea.
I'm
I
just
don't
learning.
go to Panera Bread though, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
There
I'm
But
you
it's
just
go.
weird that it's in lemonade. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
What were you going to say, Ari? You had something to say too.
I don't know. I forgot.
I understand. Fair enough.
Take
Fair
a
enough.
bong
I
rip.
have that problem
Let's
too.
go.
I lose it pretty quick too.
I do too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm the same way.
squeeze those Myers lemons from Cali, and you won't look back.
Oof.
Well, we got
Mm,
lemon connoisseurs in here. We need
I'm
a
not a
swear
big
jar.
fan.
Yep, we need a swear jar.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that. You
And
have to
all that
drop a
money goes
dollar
on
rant.
parlays.
Bro.
Rant.
Parlays and underdogs.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to kick that ROI up, Ari, if they give me a swear jar, because I'm gonna be broke.
Yeah.
Don't
definitely
worry,
be
we'll keep it up.
It would definitely be the biggest leak in your game, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be.
Yep.
25% of his vocabulary is cuss words.
Yes.
So he would have
But
a
he's
problem.
And
growing.
that's me working on it. I can
We're
get it
proud
down
of
to
him.
15%. By football season, we'll have her down to about 11 and a half. 11 and a hook. That's
I'm
what I'll
betting
have
the
her
over.
down to. Yeah.
Chris, just wait
Not
until you
bad.
can get that little chip that Tesla's making that they're going to put in the back of your head, and you'll just be able to turn a switch on and off, and you won't.
Are you
cut.
talking about the mark of the beast heavy steps?
Yes.
Is that what
I
you're
am
talking about?
You're not putting
Yeah.
anything in
That's
my
what
body
it
like
is.
that. You ain't putting nothing in my body like that. That is exactly what that is. And I'm not even a religious guy, but that's exactly
just-
what that shit sounds like.
Just
Unless
write a
you-
code. No cussing.
unless-
and just it happens. No cussing.
I don't
Unless
trust
it-
these robots, and they're not going to get implanted in me.
I like
I'm
my brain
afraid
the
that
way it
it'll-
works now.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid it'll make bets that I think about and like make it happen. And I don't want those bets to actually happen that I'm thinking about. Because no, it'll know
I
some
see-
big shit.
I'm starting to
break
see
it.
a
I'll
lot of
break your algorithm.
advertisement for AI betting. I'm seeing
I
like
know.
so much
Oh,
of that shit right
But
now.
oh my god,
Listen,
you see
but they're
that?
getting-
Trust me. I've been testing out these AI bots. I'm serious. People are not. I've heard people praise these AI bots for sports betting. I mean, I have good friends that have been following me for a while that love these AI bots for sports betting, and they're singing it praises. And I see this all the time. But please listen to me. When I have been tracking 3 different AI sports betting bots that people have told me they're hitting 9 out of 10 winners. They have like plus 30% ROIs. These bots are great. I made $30,000. Like, there are so many claims out there. I've been I'm losing my voice. I've been testing them out personally myself, keeping track of them every day, writing down the numbers, writing down the odds, keeping track of the games that are winning and losing. And the best one that's out there right now has a negative 30% ROI.
Be careful. people. That doesn't surprise
Negative.
me.
So it's like the
And-
upside down Ari.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I have not
It's a fucking
seen one
sports
have
book. It's a sports book dream.
What if they're behind
these
it?
These guys who are building them are claiming to be like the best AI guys in the industry. You know, I've talked to some of them myself, and the truth is no one is keeping them accountable because they're good at building these sports bots. They're good at building bots, right? They're good at programming, but they really don't know about sports. I mean, I've seen props with, saying this is a good prop today, and the guy's not even on the same team anymore. I mean, a lot of these are really, they're really bad, and all you see out there advertised is the good. And like how much, I mean, people who are losing money are out there saying, oh, I'm making so much money just because it hits one. But you have to make sure that you're keeping track of them before the game starts, because they love to post after the game's over. Oh, this bet hit and this bet hit and this bet hit. Well, this wasn't even in the top bets that you pulled from the entire scoreboard today. And the top bets that you pulled at the beginning of the day before the game started didn't hit at all. So I've been testing all of them, and it's just really, it's a disaster out there. There is not a single thing that's good. I don't want anyone watching this to waste their time or money and lose money betting on these bots out there. I'm so serious about this. Please stay as far as you can away from them. I mean, I myself, I'm working with a team out in Las Vegas to build my own tool set, but this is completely different than being an AI bot that's giving you the picks. I'm working with a legitimate AI team who already is working with all the Las Vegas casinos, and they have been doing that for years, to provide people with a tool set to make your own bets by placing weights on different factors that you think are important, enabling you to make your own better decisions rather than what these bots are promising you out there with their supposed giant ROIs. I've tracked them for a while now, and I mean, consistently over time, they're terrible.
It's a
So,
scam
Ari,
right now.
It is a huge scam, and they're going to jump on it. We're going to see this probably for a few years, huh, Heavy?
Yep.
But
Yeah,
listen really quick in the chat. They're talking about your email. And Crash 195, this was a question that I had when I first met you and started tracking. So I'd like to pull up the email, and can we just kind of run through what this is? Ari, is that cool?
Yeah. Let me pull up yesterday's email because it's hard for me to see on the screen.
Yeah, because you'll have the like Milwaukee yesterday, they're talking about -2.5 / -5 level 1 pro money. I took that to assume you would play it up to -5, or the pros would.
Here's what I will tell you.
Let me
This
show you how to
Pacers
read
line.
these emails.
This Pacers line was, when I woke up this morning, I did like that line at -9, and it's all the way up to 10.5 now.
Yeah, I put it in at -9.5, which you said at the beginning of the show. I went in and jumped in, and the Suns line had already gone up another half point too. So got some closing line value there, man. Y'all better get on that thing.
Boom.
Yep.
Vegas is backing this play, and I think you could see that just with the line movement here. Okay. Okay, which game are we talking about again? The Milwaukee-Dallas spread?
Yeah, so it's right in yesterday's email.
Okay.
It's right here.
Okay, here's how to read the emails. I'm glad we're going over this real quick. So the spread Milwaukee, that's pretty, self-explanatory. The number in the parentheses is the look-ahead line. This is the line that is posted before the official opening line. So it was -1. The official opening line is the first number that you see there, the -2.5. Then I put a slash to separate the official opening line versus the look-ahead line away from how the numbers have been tracking as I'm periodically updating the numbers here. So as you could see, the opening line was -2.5. It moved out to -5 on level 1 pro money. Then it moved out to it moved back to -4.5 on level 3 money. So the level 3 and the level 1 just shows the significance of money. If there's a pro or a P or a J there, that determines if it's pro or Joe. And also I capitalize the P or the J depending on if it's a strong pro money move or a weak pro money move. So either it's a lowercase p or uppercase P, or a lowercase j or uppercase J. So that's another way of reading this as well. And if there isn't a pro or a Joe money there, that means that it's just mixed money, and there's no designation on it yet.
It's just an interesting line at that point.
Yeah, it's an interesting line, and it shows you that there's a lot of money on the spread of Milwaukee. Significant money, because there's always money being played. So you really have to, as a professional handicapper, set up your own parameters. So when you set up the right parameters for actually like what threshold you want to reach before you start tracking the money, that's what's helped me make more informed bets versus, just looking at the money and seeing like what's going on, because there could be a lot of money being played, but it could be square too. And that's why you kind of need to track what Vegas is doing and how to play with the house.
That's the headline. That's what we're going to learn to do on this show. Smoke the Spread is play with the house. They're the ones making the money. Let's just copy their homework. Or like Chuck says, you can follow one of those services and just bet the opposite side. And
there you go.
Win.
Fade it. Do you know what happens? Do you guys know what happens in 10 days from now?
Tell us.
Pitchers and catchers report for Major League Baseball.
Oh, I was going to ask you that. Let's go, crew, baby.
We got 10
it's our
days.
time. It's just our time this year. Heavy, it's just our time.
Yep.
It's
traded Corbin Burns, shed the dead weight. Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, I can't believe you guys traded Corbin. I don't like the return you got either.
Not really, no.
And the way I read things is it was like they were blaming on the fact that Milwaukee held out too long to trade him. And I'm just thinking, at what point in time can you not get a good return for Corbin Burns? Whether it was 3 months ago or you're this close to spring training. I guess they're talking about some teams already have their rotations. Dude, Corbin Burns always has a place in somebody's rotation, and you're crazy not to think. If you thought otherwise, you're crazy. But the Baltimore dude, I mean, they're in a good window right now to win now. And then with the addition of Corbin Burns, that deal for them, I think, puts them over the top. But they're in a tough division. That division is going to be tough to win because it's stacked.
We'll see. I mean, no namers. It's all about chemistry in the baseball game. Every once in a while, you get a Rays or a Royals. It just puts it all together. That's what we have to hope for in the small market, is lightning in a bottle. That's our only shot.
Hey, one more quick one, because before I don't want to miss it for Crash, because this happened to me too. These are all same questions I had, Ari, when we first started.
Okay. So going back to the same game, the total, you read it the same way. So it's here for whatever reason on the Milwaukee Dallas game, I didn't write like under or over, but usually if you look at the Golden State versus Atlanta game, you could see that I put like under L5 money in that game. And then it went down to level 4 money in that game. So that's how you read it too. Like the first initial line is the official opening line. The line in the parentheses is the look ahead line that's posted a week before the official opening line. And then when it after the slash, that's how you could copy this and put it into a Word document. And then you could also track and keep updating it as the game time approaches. If it moves from, the opening line, if it moves to 246.5, and then 244.5, this is me updating the line at different periods and then tracking where the money is once it reaches a significant level. So you could actually copy this into a Word document and keep tracking it all the way up to game time. And this would actually really help everyone who has questions to use it as a teaching tool, because then you'll clearly see where the good plays in this game. And especially if you have a good app, not BSIN, but if you have a good app that shows you where the money is going and how it's being split, I mean, you'll be just as effective as me by following the tools in this email that I provide and just really following it and then seeing how the numbers are flowing and where Vegas is making their plays.
That's the side you want to be on. O's have new owners. Yeah, that's true. They got a new owner. They got a new pitcher. I think it was $1.725 billion.
That's a lot of money
for.
Yeah,
they're making moves. They were supposed to be terrible, and they've overachieved the last 2 seasons. I like to see them taking steps.
They're young too.
Mm-hmm.
Ari, are you a big pitcher's better, or you just like to stay in your lane?
Yeah, I kind of stay in my lane, but it is interesting. Baseball's coming up. I don't know. I mean, I know everyone usually measures the pitchers by ERA in the past. But now you guys should really start considering using XFIP. It's basically a new way of accounting for everything that the pitcher has control over in a game. It's a lot more accurate than using ERA.
100%. I like XERA too, just because it kind of eliminates some of that stuff. But Ari's right. You got You have to look at the underlying metrics, and that XFIP, I think it like takes out the fielding aspect of it because not all the players are positioned like in different air. It has something to do with like how the fielding comes.
Yeah.
Somehow.
So with the ERA, it takes a lot into account of variables that are out of the pitcher's controls, like the outfield performance. And the XFIP, it was originally the FIP, but the XFIP is even a more detailed algorithm to really show just exactly what the pitcher has control over and how well they're performing. So it's really something you want to stay on top of, and there's a few different websites out there that show you all of these numbers, so it's free to go check it out and really see like what's your pitcher's XFIP.
You can find some really good edges on that because essentially some pitchers just could have bad luck, and they can the ERA could be inflated, but it could be due to different variables. So I think that if you pay attention to those numbers, you can really get some edges throughout the year where some lines or some books might not be baking that in, and if you have a pitcher that's unlucky and you can get some good odds on it, I'm going to bet that.
Chuck says baseball is your strongest suit, Ari. I'm excited for summer.
Yeah, last year I had a 34% ROI.
How the fuck is baseball your strongest suit? When I'm watching you in basketball and football, like it gets what? Gets better? Get the fuck out of here. I mean, shut the front door. That's what
there
I meant
you
to
go.
say. Shut the front door.
Between Ari and I in baseball, we might break the internet this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Heavy is really good at baseball. Heavy crushed last year.
Yeah, it's
Heavy bankrolled my entire fucking fall vacation, basically.
I mean, I indulge my MLB TV, I watch it all. And I think that basketball too is just one of those seasons. It's a season. It's so long that you have to pay attention to what's going on every single day. That's how you can get your edges. If you watch basketball all the time, when players might sit, about, previous matchups. You can dig into numbers all you want, but sometimes you got to watch those games. NFL, it's a little bit easier because you only have to do it one time a week. So I think baseball, you can really get an advantage if you really follow along the trends. So for example, like remember Tampa Bay last year? Like they won how many games straight in a row?
30.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. You got to follow that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, here's what we're gonna
like
do. Here's what we're gonna do really quick, Ari, on our new show. Here, I want to get this out here before I forget. But since you two are probably gonna have some consistent picks going forward this year, and those are probably gonna be just slam fucking dunks. Even you guys both have slam dunks already when you come together. I will, if the chat will do us a favor and keep track of my cussing, I'll put $1 for every cuss word into a tip and legitimately, and every week we'll make a little a 2 or 3 leg parlay that Ari and Steps come to a consensus on.
Yep.
And we'll do that.
I like that.
Run that shit up to. I mean, stuff up to. This is gonna be hard. We're gonna have some big money parlays here for a minute while I get used to it.
Yeah, we always have good consensus picks on this show, and that's what I really love about doing these podcasts with you guys. I mean, when we all have like consensus picks, like we never miss.
Never.
Undefeated, never lost.
Right. And this is the time of year for me where I'm waiting on baseball. So I suck at basketball. I just suck at it. So this is that time of the year where you got to find somebody like Ari that can kind of carry you from one sport to the other.
Hey, we got to figure out how people in the chat can get like points for catching that cuss word. And then when we hit our parlays, we can like buy some slick jerseys and stuff for their favorite team and send them out to them.
They got to call it out, and then you got to drop a rumble rant, and the rumble rant will be the bucket.
I like that. I'll be making the jerseys.
I like it.
Yep.
That might work, Step. God dang.
We got all that under control. She's our sports betting Sherpa. She's our accessories queen. There's nothing this lady can't do.
Sports betting Sherpa. Well done there, sir.
I like that.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. You guys do the research. I just come up with shit like that.
The proctologist over there.
Bucket, Eric, bucket.
Oh, we're all
you need
doing
a
it.
giant tip jar, yeah.
I said shit.
Burn.
Yeah, it'd be more like a tip 55-gallon drum.
Yeah, for a little bit, that those might be some big parlays for a minute. You guys might first few you're gonna want to be on that train with tickets in that.
Yep.
There's gonna be a lot of money in those.
We'll have big sweats anyway.
Like a 50-gallon fish tank should do it. Yeah, right up there, maybe a 50-gallon fish tank just with fives and singles in there.
Man,
the swear jar.
Hey, I am gonna put a
Swear
fish tank in down here. That's about to be a fish tank. I'm gonna get one put in here.
And
Don't
if
even
you
worry
put
about no
dumb
fish
plays
tank.
in the comments, we're gonna name a fish after you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Don't
this.
be a
Oh my
fish
God.
in the tank. We'll name your ass.
I like these
There's
games.
there's gonna be 7 fish in there named Chris. I guarantee it by the end of the
have a whole school of Chris's in there,
there's
man.
another one. Oh,
Yep.
I felt that one. See, I'm starting to pay attention now. Now we involve money. Now I'm hearing myself cuss.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
You come in here with a minus 250 money line play. We're gonna name a fish.
We're
after
gonna
you.
name a fish after you, bro.
Absolutely.
It's happening.
My name too.
We're gonna have like hundreds of fishes.
Gonna need a bigger tank, honey.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Yeah.
You're like, Chris, that tank's getting awful small for all them fish in there, man.
Nah,
We're
just
gonna
bring
put
some of them
call
goldfish in there. They'll
That's
die
right.
quick.
We'll call
You won't have
Ari's
to worry about
email
it.
will be your
Oh, man.
email will be your only savior. If you're not
Oh no, I had a goldfish that lived for like literally like 6 years.
That's
Whoa.
very
Well,
impressive,
that's what
because
my
those
daughter
carnival
thinks
fish
too.
eats.
But there were a couple days where
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
barely
that's
beat the
right.
bus back from pet store, and
Mm-hmm.
Eric's been doing
Goldie-
some
No,
flushing down
this-
the toilet.
No, this
Goldie
goldfish
was
was
replaced a
weird.
couple
The goldfish would eat all the other fish in the tank.
Where did you
You
get
think-
this goldfish? Because
Yeah.
that is not a carnival goldfish. It
piranha.
do not last
It
that
was a
long.
carnival goldfish.
Are you
Like,
serious?
yeah.
Yep, she got it from that dude who sold the Mogwai to the kid in Gremlins.
Hey, you think
He also has
PETA?
fish.
You think PETA would get on to us if we got a tank and like got those beta fish to fight? We could bet on the beta fish when they were fighting in there.
I mean,
Or we could do
could
the mouse game. Have
certainly-
you ever seen the little mouse game where it's like they have holes and they put the mouse out and he runs into one of the holes? You ever seen that one?
No.
No.
I don't think PETA would like that one either.
I started to say
No,
I feel like
probably
PETA's making an ad against us right now.
We're like, hang on, weren't they
Okay.
just talking about ethical treatment of racehorses? Now they're talking
I'm
about
gonna-
racing.
Yeah.
They want to fight betas.
No,
in the
I'm
tank?
gonna make an ad against PETA for their unethical treatment of racehorses.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty
All right,
says-
Chuck. Chuck owes us
Chuck's
$1.
Chuck's got to put $1 in a jar, man.
Can I use my trot line? Yes. Yes,
Absolutely,
we'll
sir.
incorporate the trot line. We'll have maybe 2-gallon jugs of fishing. Fuck PETA.
You can have my dollar.
Yeah.
Best dollar he ever spent.
PETA, a classic example of an organization that accomplishes nothing what they stand for.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed at how many animals PETA kills every year, but that's a whole other show.
Yeah. Story for another time.
Story for another time. I'm looking through these Super Bowl MVPs because I love that Debo 20-1 you gave us. George Kittle 60-1. If he has that 3-touchdown game that he's known to have, he could have a shot. Or Fred Warner 100-1. Just because I've paid attention to how much Fred Warner has been talked about during games in the media. They love this guy. I think it goes back to Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee saying he's the best linebacker in the league.
I think he has a big game, too. I really like him over 8.5 tackles and assists in that game. I think he's going to have a big game. I'm looking at a lot of these MVP odds, and there's several dudes middle of the pack here that I might just sprinkle $1 on to just because the odds are so high. You can throw $1 to win 75 to 100 on a lot of these guys. And I see several, 6 or 7 guys in the middle of that pack that could have an impact on this game that gets him up there in that conversation. We see it a lot in Super Bowls, man. You see an unsung hero kind of come through and be named the MVP in this spot. Maybe not a lot, but we've seen it in recent years a lot more. I know it's kind of a quarterback award, but I don't think you're getting any value on betting on Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes in this thing. I think the lowest you should probably go is CMC at plus 475. I like Debo at plus 2,000, but you look down middle of the pack here from about Kittle at plus 6,000 all the way down to outside of Sam Darnold, all the way down to about Trent McDuffie, because we know that people get pick sixes and things like that. But
That's right.
got Trent McDuffie all the way at plus 20,000. I mean, you throw $1 or $2 on about 10 guys right there and have a real good sweat, not be too invested in it. And if any of them hit for you, you're going to get a real big return.
Yeah. Especially in today's NFL. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. I
And
agree,
it
sir.
just takes that one, game of a lifetime. And a DB could do that. A pick six definitely puts you right in the mix.
We've saw Patrick Mahomes throw back-to-back pick sixes before.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah,
I believe
Warner
he
would
had
probably, for a defensive player, he'd have to have like an insane amount of tackles or a touchdown, or like
you
a
gotta-
pick and a forced fumble, a sack. Like
What if he
you'd have
goes
to
like
really be
field
impressive.
goal.
16 tackles for like, and 2 tackles for loss with a sack?
And
maybe
the
finds a
game would
pick
have to
or
probably be low. The defense would have to be the story. I would
Yeah.
assume.
I'm
Like
with you there.
Super Bowl 55, Patrick Mahomes threw 270 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks when the Bucs beat him. And this is a similar gritty, everybody throws in defense with the linebackers in the secondary.
Dang.
Well, you never know. You never know. We
Chris.
could see some defensive dudes stepping up.
I agree.
What site do you all like to use to place bets? We use various, pretty much. We're on every site if you combine all 4 of us, probably.
It
Yeah,
all
we
depends where you
line
live,
shop
too.
for the best value, Michael. That's the way to do it. Line
Yeah,
shop.
and really it
Yep.
depends on where you're at, Michael. Right now with the all the ever-changing landscape in sports betting, you got some spots that you can do all these different books, some spots you can't. Some books you got to some states you got to take what you get. So it really depends on that too. But if you're in a state where you can get all of them, I think you should have an account in 4 or 5. That way you can, like I already said, line shop, find your best value right there. Just the reality of it is everybody doesn't have that opportunity right now.
Yeah, and
Yep.
some books are, for example, if you are in a state, like Georgia, where you don't have access to DraftKings, you've got like Bet Online, you've got Bovada and stuff like that. Bet Online, you can get really good hockey lines on Bet Online. Bovada, everywhere else. So you got to really pay attention. There are some books out there that will give you some edges on some sports, and then there's some books that are super sharp. So really do your research. And why would you pay like a minus 110 if you could get even money somewhere else? So have your money spread out a little bit. It might take you some time to build up a bankroll to get it to that point. You can also take advantage of promotions if you're a person who is not afraid of rollover. I know a lot of people hate rollover, but if you're looking at this as a long-term investment, the whole rollover thing, in my opinion, you're going to surpass that at some point. So
explain that to them, Steph. Explain the rollover to them for those that don't know.
Yeah, so rollover is essentially they'll give you a promotional deal where they'll match up a deposit you make or something like that, where they'll give you some free money to play with. And essentially, if you win those bets, you have to roll over and bet. Like they might give you $10 free, and then you have to bet at least $150 worth to be able to withdraw any money from those winnings before. You can take that money out. So if you're looking at it long-term investment, why not take some money up front to help you out, help your bankroll out, and just build off that, and eventually you'll surpass that rollover. I could understand if you're making like $1,000 deposit, but again, that rollover is just, you're going to be making those bets. You're going to already invest that money. So I think I've bet like $500,000 on Bet Online. And I don't have $500,000. So
but it's just
over the year, you know what I'm saying?
Reusing that same money.
Exactly.
Recycling.
So I'm not afraid of it. So you can take
What I
advantage.
will say about these deposit bonuses is don't bet futures that are far out there, because when the bonus expires, your bet comes out. I learned that.
Read the terms and agreements. A push is not a push if it's with free money. It is a loss.
Yeah.
You have to.
And if you win, you don't get, you only get what you won. You don't get the $10 you started with.
Yeah, that's what
depends on what book it is too.
Yeah,
and just so you know, Heavy, just so you guys know, I've been accountable. I put 50 in there today.
I saw that.
I don't know how many curse words I said, but I put $50 in it. So our parlay fund has started.
He bought insurance on his
parlay fund is cooking.
That's not insurance. I'm in debt, Cricket.
The seed has been planted.
That's a down payment.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a down payment.
We're gonna be able to go to Vegas on his swear jar.
Oh, we could save up also our parlays and maybe plan a trip if some of them hit. I'm pretending like a parlay would never miss. Like we'd never have one that missed. Right?
No, we don't lose parlays.
It does happen now and again, but not usually. Thanks, guys. Great advice. I find FanDuel never matches up with the odds at the experts.
No,
so that's like another thing. These shady people, these people who are pushing their services on you, will say they'll give you lines that they didn't even get. Like that line was up there for 4 seconds, and you did not get -2. The world got -4. So let's be upfront about that.
That's why you'll see Robert, when Robert posts his official picks over on sportspicks.locals.com, a lot of times he'll put out in parentheses out the side what he would take it up to. He might have the line. He might have got the line earlier in the week at -3, but he'll tell you it's okay up to -4 or whatever at this price, at -125 or whatever. He'll always put it in parentheses on what he would take it up to. And if it goes beyond that, he usually leaves it alone. So make sure you're paying attention to that stuff, because a lot of these sharp guys, some of them will be like Steps and like to put bets in early in the week. You may not get that line come Saturday or Sunday when the game actually kicks off. So you got to make sure you monitor that stuff. And it does get to a point. The books are pretty sharp. They don't miss these by that much, that often, especially in bigger games. So make sure you're monitoring that stuff. And if you can't get it at that line and it seems to have gone up too much, just stay away, man. You don't have to bet it.
Yep. I bet a couple of those where I look at the email and I'm like, oh, this already moved 5 points. I'm not going to mess with that one.
Yeah, and sometimes the smaller games, like you said, like the bigger games are very tight. The smaller games, that's where you could see a lot of value and really hit some winners, and the money is green all the same.
And if you know you're going to bet it anyway, when you get these lines early in the week, when you see these emails and stuff, go ahead and bet it. If you know you're going to bet it anyway, you ain't like you got to wait, just go ahead and put it in there.
Get your favorites down early is usually the way to go. And then if you like an underdog, then there's chances the public's going to come in on that other side, and you can probably get a better bet later on.
That's fair, Eric. Good point. Good point, Eric.
If Ari's on it, it's probably moving the direction she says. So get on. I mean, once I see the blip, the email's there, I'm on it.
Oh, when I see it, it's in, man. It's already in.
I like this comment here. We need an over/under on the curse words for each show. I think that would be fun. A fun little segment. Like at the end, we just count out how many.
We'll have to adjust the lines. We'll have to adjust the lines. That'll be a work in progress right there. I think it's probably going to start pretty high. The over's probably a good bet early too.
It's going to open at football numbers like 54.5.
Oh, I was thinking like 173.5.
Chiefs in Mexico City type numbers. Yeah. Just on the layaway plan. No, he's on the Ariel plan, so he's got the down payments. He's good there.
I'm just saying, my guy has made a lot of progress in just a short time here. We started working on this in the last 24 to 48 hours, and I feel like he's came a long way already.
Yeah, that's fixing the games, Chuck. You start talking about government and restrictions. That's going to get him going.
Oh, yeah. That's how you get that jar full, baby.
That's going to get him going.
Oh, my gosh. We'd have to set the line at like 300.
It'd be up there. It would be up there. It'd definitely be higher in some of these totals in these NBA games.
Over under for Taylor Swift appearances. That's got to be in Super Bowl specials. I'll check that out.
They actually have a section over on DraftKings. They literally have a section that says for the Swifties.
Oh, geez.
That's your section.
Pisses me off so damn bad, man. We're not getting into that. I'm not going back down that rabbit hole.
They put 4 to Swifties on DraftKings.
Yeah, it literally says right here. I saw it just a little bit ago. You can go in here and let me find it again because it made me want to puke. That's why I had to step away for a minute. But yeah,
Cricket, I will say this. At least now you know from watching Colin Cowherd's 3-minute bit.
Fuck Colin Cowherd. I hate that motherfucker. I'll put my money in the jar.
You know where to set the line on how many seconds of airtime she's going to get, and it's 25 seconds.
I think that number's skewed too. Why wouldn't they want to tell me I was wrong? Make me feel like I'm the problem. Fuck those idiots. I'm not getting back into that steps. I'm not climbing back down there. I'm not letting you do this to me.
It's all good. You owe us about $5, but that's all good.
Yeah,
I feel like the F word, it should be double payment because that's the worst word.
Nope. Don't come making rules up as we go now. I'll be like Chris. I'll put my 20 in there and I'll be good to go for a week.
Yeah, you can't move the goalposts like that.
All right.
The Taylor
literally under Super Bowl specials at DraftKings, there's literally a section for the Swifties.
Wow.
And I'm not sure why these are actually options just for the Swifties. It doesn't make any sense. They just wanted to be able to put that up there. Idiots.
Yeah, to drive traffic. She moves the needle.
Hey, bro,
she moves the needle.
She absolutely moves the needle. Like I said, my daughter's not throwing a fucking 13 little girl party down in the basement if Taylor Swift is not in the suite. I can promise you that. And the NFL has done some really good marketing on this one.
And we wonder what's wrong with America when Taylor Swift is moving the needle as far as Taylor Swift is moving the needle.
If it's not, hey, here, okay. So is it better? It's better than a Kardashian, right? I mean, Taylor Swift, this complete, brought out by George Strait in country music. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my goodness.
Oh, we're going to wait on this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We're about
Well,
to go
I
down
mean-
something serious here. Who bought her
Go
out?
ahead.
not many
Lay it on me, man.
scandals. She's done it the right way. She's written her own music about some breakups. Every teenage girl does. Now she falls in love with the starting tight end and the Super Bowl winning quarterback or the Super Bowl winning tight end up in this. Like, what is more American Pie than that? But yet we hate her. Like, there's nothing.
No. I don't.
It
I
is
don't
super
hate.
American
Pie.
That's my thing. Is like
Huh?
I don't even hate Taylor Swift.
This
It's
is
not that.
Chevy.
I hate the fact that she shoves it in my face. I think it's all corporate bullshit.
Oh yeah, it
And they
absolutely
want to
is.
sit and tell us that's not, that we're the problem. And they want to say 25 seconds a game. It's not the 25 seconds, man. It's the 2 minutes the announcers talk after. It's every pregame show, every halftime show where they're doing the handshake, every other commercial. I got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, or her in it. It's all that shit. The 25 seconds is not it.
Or
And I got a whole rant over on Sports Picks. Y'all can watch for 30 minutes how I feel about this. If you don't like profanity, don't go over there and watch that. But I'm just
Well,
saying, it's all the other
does
shit
not-
surrounding it that drives me nuts.
And that show does not involve the tip jar, so you can't hold that against them.
Y'all ain't
I
getting me on
can't
that one.
wait to
I'd
watch
have to
the
take a
Super
loan out
Bowl
for
with
that one.
cricket because it's going to be the Taylor Swift show, and I'm going to get to see him live and in color, getting pissed off.
You haven't got that experience yet, Steps. It is worth seeing.
Mhm.
I have to say. They tell me. I don't know. It's just me. I'm just doing my thing. But I think I have heard it's worth the price of admission.
Okay.
Chuck knows
Can't
I was
wait.
off. I was cussing off camera.
Well, I think it's interesting how like DraftKings is trying to really like involve like younger women by saying like the Swiftie section there.
Mhm.
You know, part of me doesn't like it because I'm just like, come on, like this is so overdone with all the news stories and everything. I mean, this has been in a cycle for like literally every day, every hour for a month now. But you know, maybe longer. I don't know. It feels like forever.
Just wait till this
But
week. It's going to be worse.
it is
Oh
going
my
to
God.
be, but at the same time, I do think it's cool that they're trying to bring like younger women into sports betting. So I gotta say that's pretty inventive. of
So
them.
let's go even further. So Callie Rose has been in here. She's gonna jump on Smoke the Spread, and we're gonna help her learn how to bet. So she's gonna be our guinea pig. How to like get the money from the reward system from the book, and how to put Ariel's email to work and her TikTok and our show as we go throughout the year. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Make it make sense. So,
Chris,
anyways,
feel
what
like
I
you
was
need to
saying
get a
is
bet
that
from those girls. They need to give you a bet to put in.
oh yeah, we will. We'll do
Yeah.
some, but as far as is
Are we promoting
it's a
underage
four-
gambling now?
the
Yes.
14-year-old goes, like now she's all of a sudden interested, right? And Taylor Swift did that, right? But not only is she interested in football, she's coming down. She was watching the basketball game with me last night, like seeing who was in the
Oh, okay.
audience. I wonder if anybody from my YouTube shows are like on the front row, Dad. And I'm like, cool,
That's funny.
have a seat. By the end of the game, she's seen my bet. We know what she knows. We're supposed to be under 249, and she's cheering for it, and I'm cheering for it. We're having a good time. That never happened if Taylor Swift doesn't get brought in. I'm just saying that. I'm not justifying it, but they have created an audience that maybe 10 girls watch and maybe 3 girls stick around for their lifetime. They won.
And what's
Yeah,
the NFL all
and-
about? Money. They
Yeah, and if
they
you-
love this.
And if you think about it, like all of these young girls, I mean, all of them are buying the merchandise. I've seen NFL
Oh,
come out with
yes.
so many new. They've come out with so many new like styles of clothing. It really looks really cool. I like it a lot. I like all of the new styles and looks and everything they have going on. And you know, I mean, I know my demographic, like we buy a lot of clothes. Like we're going to be spending money, and then when you know we're 21 or 18 in some states, we're going to bet too. So it is smart to cater to this audience.
The thing is, though, is like it's borderline. I mean, I understand they're going to take advantage of this, but in this day and age where a lot of people doubt a lot of things and a lot of people kind of plant those seeds of uncertainty.
Hashtag
could
NFL
see-
rigged.
Yeah, I could see why people would think it is that way. And you guys know how I am. I'm not the type of person who likes
No,
to go
he's
down a
not-
rabbit hole.
That's
I'm
his
not into
dad.
conspiracy theories and all that
That's
stuff.
Papa
But
Steps.
This haircut
I
has
know.
changed you. You're making live bets. You're talking about internet.
No, I just know
tinfoil
that
hat
the
stuff?
NFL is a money-making machine. They're about their money. I'm not saying they're going to rig shit, but excuse me, a dollar on that. I'll
Above
do
all,
that
it's
in a second.
entertainment.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's
feeling.
about the dollar. And I think Cricket said it right. They're gonna in his little rant, there's gonna be situations where they might not rig it, but they're gonna line things up in their favor. They're gonna try to do everything they can to help themselves out.
They're never going to be at a disadvantage ever.
Yep.
That's how they got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe I don't
ahead.
believe games are set up, and I don't believe the NFL is rigged. Because at the end of the day, like can you imagine, like, really, like, every single person on a team being convinced, like, we need to all do this, and it just, I mean, it would leak. It would have to leak.
That's not what. That's not what they're doing, though, Ari. What I think is happening is all those alpha males are playing to win the fucking game. Dang it!
They are playing to win a game. Their whole life they've been trained to play to win the game. I mean, you don't get into the NFL just by playing a few games and being an average
they're not just handing those out. It's impossible to choreograph 22 full-grown human beings like that running around. It's impossible to get them all in sync to set something like that up.
Hang on. So what are we always trying to do? We're just trying to find an edge, right? Just give us a positive edge. So what's the NFL do? They go out and find some referees that penalize the Ravens heavy or penalize the home team light.
Like Bill Vinovich, who worked Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers, and threw 10 flags on San Francisco. Maybe you put him in there?
Exactly.
So they can't rig the game, but they have absolutely have an advantage over the house now.
100%.
Us being the house.
100%. When you're in charge of the people officiating the game, being the referees and controlling fair play. Yeah, when you control those guys and say who gets to do that, you got all the advantage.
And I've said this before on a previous podcast, like they need people who are refereeing the game, and that's their full-time job. They're not doing a bunch of other stuff. They need to be getting paid enough money to really take this seriously, and I think they need to be professionals. Like I think, someone like not that I would be a good referee, but I think someone who comes from like a similar background of not having a favorite team growing up ever, and just learning the game and, being a part of the game is, that's critical because it's like, then everything is kind of fair.
Well, what we ought to do is they ought to release all of these referee stats after week 18 of the regular season. We ought to have all those released for every referee that did a game that year. And we ought to be able to fan vote it. Just like we did in the All-Star game, because obviously there's all different all different fan bases, so you're not going to have it skewed because one team hates one fan base or whatever. But let the people vote on it, and we'll decide who these referees are in these games.
Major League Baseball does it the best, in my opinion, with home plate umpires. Like immediately after the game, you get the grade, and they'll tell you how many balls they called that were outside. Like
and those guys are so good, dude.
Dude, it is insane how well those guys know the
those guys are pros too, man.
It's crazy how accurate some of those guys are. So then when you get to the World Series, you do get the best of the best in that crew, and you can really believe that you're going to get guys behind the plate that are going to call good games, and it's just the Super Bowl.
And how often do we see big time major baseball events like that wind up being on a bad call or something? We don't see that much in baseball. Let's just be real. It's implemented replay into baseball, which I thought they should have done years ago, because there are certain bang bang plays. I know you have to have the human element, and that's part of the game, the historical part, but I do like the replays on like bang bang plays at first and stuff like that, because they do
better replay than NFL, in my opinion, too.
Absolutely,
it takes a long time sometimes, but they get it right, in my opinion.
That's all I ever want.
Like Derek Jeter at the plate, the iconic play, an NFL ref would have screwed that up.
Oh man,
they'd be like, what is the shortstop doing here? That's got to be something wrong with that.
Is he allowed to touch the ball and just throw the flag?
Have you guys ever seen that kid who wants to be an umpire, who goes to games like dressed fully in umpire gear, and he gets seats behind home plate for Major League Baseball because he's like a super fan, and he calls balls and strikes from behind home plate in his seat?
Well, that's freaking awesome.
It is awesome. He's like 9 years old. Oh, dude, he's gonna be an umpire, 100%. You could Google
dress for the job you want, dude.
I know you're talking about that. That kid is on point, man. He's no bullshit. He can.
He has like a strike. He practices calling strikes in front of the mirror, like he has it down.
He's got all the umps down. Like he can mimic them all. Like instead of mimicking the batter, he mimics the strike call.
How umpires call. Yeah, how they call behind home plate, how they call outs in the infield. He knows all the umpires. It's kind of cool to see like someone want to do that at such a young age versus being the player. So I mean, they make good money. I wouldn't mind doing it.
You find a job you love, you never got to work another day in your life, man.
You damn
Where
right.
do you start though? Like, how do you start in like little league? Like, where do you start, and how do you get to the major leagues? Do you have to know somebody? Like, how does that work?
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's classes.
I bet.
It's like anything else. You can work your way up. You start.
There has to be a kingmaker who decides if you're going to go to the show or not.
Well, you got to figure out how many baseball games are out there. There's probably opportunities provided to you, man. You start with high school or even college level, and you wind up getting a shot in the minor leagues. But there's a lot of baseball games you can play, so you're gonna have opportunities. They're not gonna just throw you in the big leagues. I'm sure you got to work up to that. But I mean, I guess you just earn your stripes, man. You go out there, you put the time in, put the work in. You got to kind of eat ramen noodles for a little bit because you probably don't get paid all that great to do some of these things. But I don't really know steps. I don't know how you would go about something like that. Do they have a school or something? I mean.
I'm sure you could probably get certified or something. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they have like an official system for this.
Yeah, I think with high school, it's probably a little bit different because it can be tracked and it's a little bit more. It's not professional, obviously, but it's not little league. You know what I'm saying? And there's probably like it's some type of state or city or some type of organization you have to be a part of.
Up here in Wisconsin, I got invited to go to rough school starting in March. It's like a 6-month deal, 6 months class. But I do a lot of, my kid does travel ball. So I know I talk to all the umps and they're running out of umps. They need umps. So I
used to ump, man. Back in my early 20s, I umped a lot. I mean, softball, you can make a killing ump and you go make $500-$600 in a weekend open like 9-year-old softball. I used to do that when I was younger, man. Make extra cash.
Can you give us a ring up call real quick? No,
man, I ain't ringing up. It's been a long time since I've done that, man. Sometimes you just got to flow with it, just how you're feeling that day.
Yeah.
You always feel really bad because there's like I said, I was doing softball because there was more softball, more money in it, and you feel really bad when you like get really into it and ring up an 8-year-old, and they just look at you like piece of shit.
What if the chat wants to see it?
That's gonna stick with me for life. Thanks a lot.
A man of the chat.
We get some dead umps that don't ring that they're kind of lame when they're ringing up, and when my kid is catching, she gets them all energized and hyped up by the third inning after she sat down at their feet. They're just jumping around.
Exactly, man. That's the thing. It's like different games. You got a different vibe. Certain catchers back there, certain kids just get you more into it and stuff.
Read the room, yeah.
You gotta read the room,
what's the comedy movie where
Naked Gun 33 1/3?
Yes, where he ends up behind home plate and he's making all those strike three calls and he's doing the splits and shit. Oh crap! Another $1.
Another $1. I think the F word should be the only one that goes in the swear jar.
Nah, let's kick it off for a month with everything. That'll get us like jarred into the right decision.
I'm not paying $1 for any dams or anything like that.
No, just S's and F's.
S's and F's. Okay, I can live with S's and F's.
And then
GDs too.
GDs are double. GDs are double.
How about
I like that?
No.
Yep.
No, because that's definitely lady in the room. That's $2.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You get tips for that, man. You that one.
You use that word around a lady, you're taking your chances.
Yep. See you next Tuesday.
Get a shoe coming your way.
Sometimes I call dudes a cucks, and then they think I said the U and T word, and I didn't. I just called them a cuck.
The British throw it around like nothing. Like they say it like they say dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, British concepts. Like, what did you just say?
What did you? Can you say that?
Patriot says mother effer is double too. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. I don't say mother in front of it very often. I don't think. I think maybe I do though. Actually,
if I get mother effer in there, I am fired up.
Yeah. If Cricket starts dropping F-bombs, he'll just open his wallet because he'll be on one anyways.
Oh, you'll know. You'll know. I'll warn you before, but
he'll throw it out on the table. Whack. Here you go, mother.
I'll give you all those people that it bothers. I'll give you time to get out of there before I go. But once I start going, I ain't stopping.
All right. Good show today. 3 hours.
Robust is the word I would use to describe it.
Can we get one more
Mhm.
rundown, Ari? Make sure anything's changed before we get out of here. Make sure we
Oh,
don't
yeah.
put something in.
I do have a question too
Absolutely.
for you, Ari, before you give your
Mhm.
rundown. I see that you like a lot of spreads and totals. Do you typically bet the same unit on that, or do you typically favor like a total? How do you like to do that if you're betting on like not parlaying it like Chris or Eric would do?
Yeah,
would
I
not.
always bet the same unit size unless like I specifically say in a video or in my
Okay.
morning email that I'm doubling down on something. And it's really rare that I do double down on something because I just believe in consistency and keeping everything the same unit size. Like it's it's really just the process of how I analyze games and do everything because I know not everything's going to win, not everything's going to lose. Um, some of my plays hit and more hit than not. Absolutely. That's why I'm able to
Say the
have
least.
these high ROIs. But the truth is like I like to keep everything consistent, and it is rare that I double down on unit size when playing any of these particular games unless like I specifically say so ahead of time. And I think that's also good for like people out there listening to really be like a professional handicapper, so your ROI isn't like fluctuating rapidly and you're not like going into the hole and being able spending more money than you really can spend at the moment. Just keep a unit size and stay consistent to it. I think that's like the best way to go, and that's how I've been able to accumulate such a high ROI. If I was playing like parlays and stuff, like I would have one big win, but I would also need to keep accountable for all the parlays that I've played that I've lost. And I don't play parlays because I know like you end up spending so much money, just to have that one big win. But the money that you spent before that, no one's keeping track of that. And that's why like ultimately, like if you're playing parlays over time, you're probably losing your shirt.
That's how I used
have-
to live, sort of like a snake survives. I would hit one big one, and that would do me for like the next 3 weeks. But
Yep.
eventually, it'd whittle down to like $10, and then I better hit another 30 to 1, or we're making
and how often were you having to like re-up versus
Yeah.
like hitting a parlay?
Bi-weekly, probably.
I don't know how you've gotten Chris in and under control and not betting a parlay in a week. I have been trying to get to this guy. How long have I been telling you this, Chris?
I think you laid the groundwork.
Yeah, you got credit in there too, man.
Oh yeah, Steps is the reason I came to PA. Parlays Anonymous.
Yeah.
I
Use
didn't
your
even know
first
my way to
sponsor.
the door. Yeah, but still my first sponsor today. In fact, I'm waiting for my chip. I have a 24-hour chip coming, and you're about to have
Sometimes it just
24
takes a different voice, Sometimes you just got to hear it from somebody else for it to click. So
yeah,
shout out to Ari for getting you out of that parlay abyss that you tend to put yourself.
I get
in.
no credit for any of this. I don't even get it included. I included you, Steps. Shit, I've been saying this for a week too.
Okay.
So one of the,
even though you throw a little shade at my 3-unit plays and my 5-unit plays, it's all good.
I don't. I'm not a big fan of those. I'm just not. I did give you credit too. I said you do pretty well on them. The majority of people do not.
Oh yeah, but I don't. They're few and far between. I don't have a 3-unit or 5-unit play.
That's what
every
makes
week.
them work.
I might have one. I think this year in the NFL, all season,
you had, what, 5?
I had 5, and I hit all 5.
What are those? 5-0.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
That's
I rarely double down. So I agree with you there. Sometimes it's better to play a fewer games with a larger amount of money versus, going out and playing a lot of different games and, lots of money spread all over the place. Like, I agree with you. Sometimes like when you double down or you go into like higher unit plays, it's good to just keep it few and far between on just games that you're really sure
I'll probably throw a lot of money on the Super Bowl, and typically
you don't even like anything.
I'm still going to throw a lot of money on it because it's the Super Bowl and I want to have fun.
You missed the first part of the segment where we said don't ruin your whole season by screwing up the Super Bowl, betting a bunch of money on shit you don't like.
It's
here's
just
the way I
one
look
game.
At it. I know, but here's the way I look at it. Just like that night when I did that betting in blackjack. Okay, this is the way I look at it.
Oh my God!
I ain't going to the bar.
Cheat day.
Okay, I ain't going to the bar. Day. I ain't gonna be spending. So you know what? I'm just gonna take the money that I was gonna go out to the bar on, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it on the game. So
You
at
did
least
that
I
on
have-
New
Absolutely
Year's.
fair.
I did.
That's absolutely fair.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
I justify those things in my head. You know, it might be
And-
irresponsible, but it's okay to have fun every once in a while. On
Okay.
Super Bowl Sunday, it's one time a year.
You guys are allowed to be
Anytime.
responsible. You're not allowed to whine about it in the group chat afterwards.
That's exactly
Okay.
Exactly right.
okay. Well, that's fair too.
Yeah.
And
I
when
like that.
I thought heavy really rolled like really heavy bets all the time because when I first really started paying attention to heavy stuff it was during baseball season. Guy bets 3 units on every game. I've never seen him bet less than 3 units on an MLB game.
Yeah, well, I mean that man knows his baseball now.
Yep.
Everything else is a unit, sometimes a quarter of a unit I've seen.
Well, let me be clear
Yeah.
too. Steps, I was not saying you didn't know all the other stuff you bet on either. I'm just saying baseball is your jam, and we all know
that's
that's
your jam.
bread and butter.
I do it in NFL too. I don't typically bet less than 3 units. I'm just not the type that wants to fluctuate a unit size and be like, oh, my unit in baseball is, $25. It's $50 in NFL. So that's why I bet 3 units on every baseball game because that's my most confident sport. That's where I make my money. That's where I hit my most plays. That's on my most confident bet. So that's why you'll see me only bet 1 unit or half unit in the off season on NBA and NCAA because I am not the information that I get and the way I process it, I am not as confident in. So I'm a degenerate. And that's why I have people like Ari, like I said earlier, that I can follow and maybe learn some things in between football and baseball season and build off that. Maybe try to come back next year and do some things. But I'm just not confident in baseball, or not baseball, in basketball. In NCAA is like I can't.
Yeah.
It's just the only thing I know is it's hard to beat a team in their own building,
in their arena,
I
man.
know
That is probably in my opinion, that's the biggest home field advantage in sport is college basketball.
Well, make sure that you follow my free morning email, and I'll help you with that. I'll fix I'll fix your ROIs in college basketball.
Cricket says it
The
best,
amount
though.
of
It's
growth
like
that Ari is providing for all of us is pretty incredible, man. We're all growing up around here.
those kids are going to school every day. Like you don't know what like. NCAA it's a little bit different football because you're playing 1 game a week, but basketball you're playing like on a Tuesday night. It's just the kid. You don't know where these kids' heads are, So
well, that's why
maybe
you
they
play
got a
with
big
the house.
Exactly.
You gotta use the Sportsbooks AI to help you find the best lines, and that's what I've been doing and playing with the house. And
speaking of what you've been doing, before we get out of here, let's get a rundown of everything you like today.
Perfect. Okay, I'm sending out the morning report real quick after the show. So make sure to sign up for my free emails at arielcalista.com. That's where you'll get the morning report. And just add your email address to the stay in touch box. You'll see all of these plays in writing with my free email. Make sure to sign up right now. Let's starting in college basketball. The Davidson Loyola game, the total is interesting. The over is looking significant at 136.5 on level 1 significant money. That's trending right now. Also, the Purdue Wisconsin game under has a lot of money showing up on it. It's not real sharp money yet, but we are watching and waiting and seeing what Purdue and Wisconsin are doing. Now moving on to the NBA. Just 1 second. Let me pull up all the lines.
We're patient.
Okay,
people.
so the Suns, the opening line was at -8. It moved out to -11, and now it's at -11.5. I saw in the chat. It's with level 2 pro money. So this is a great game to play. It keeps moving out. We all caught it early, which was great. And then the under is also trending with level 5 money. And this has been trending pretty strong. It opened up at 244. It's now sitting at 237.5. It looks like Vegas is agreeing with the money here, and they're pushing the game under. In the Pacers versus Hornets game, it opened up Indiana -8. It went out to -9.5 on level 3 pro money. This is also a great game to watch. And the under is trending in this game. It opened up at 244. It's now at 239.5 with money on the under. So this is a great game to watch and keep your eye on. And my props today, Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, you could get that at minus 115. Pacheco, anytime touchdown, you could get that at minus 125. Deebo Samuel, anytime touchdown at plus 140 and over 56.5 receiving yards at minus 115. Brock Purdy, over 12.5 rushing yards at minus 110. Rashee Rice, under 66.5 receiving yards at minus 115 and under 6.5 receptions at minus 115. And a lot of sharps in Vegas. My long shot of the day is a 2-point conversion. So, yeah, it's a long shot. I don't know if I'm going to be betting it personally myself, but it is something to keep your eye on, and it's what a lot of sharps are doing.
Perfect, Ari. I wrote that down in the old notebook. Let's get rich. And
all right.
keep your eye on this channel. These people, we will be back under a new banner, smoking the spread. Very excited. Heavy.
I can't
Thank
wait.
you, Cricket, Ari, Chris, everybody in the comments. Patriot, Big Red. I mean, we had Healthport, Chuck, of course, Patriot, real one. I didn't see Pissant this morning.
It's Sunday, man. He might have a hangover this morning.
Buku in there, Crash learning a lot, all good stuff. Let's have ourselves a day. Till next time, best of luck with your wagers. Chris, kick the outro music.